victorious on Bay Street, it's the same way you will declare that you'll be victorious over colon cancer.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Both men and women are affected equally. Fortunately, colon cancer can be prevented by scheduling routine visits with your doctor, by being aware of the symptoms, and by having some form of colon cancer screening when appropriate. If you're over the age of 45, talk to your doctor about having a colonoscopy today so that you can avoid a conversation about colon cancer tomorrow.
It's Seaman, the one and only, and I want you all to tune into Entertainment Fridays on Access Now every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Who knows? Your favorite Bahamian artist, but they're not showing their face. But you gotta watch to find out.
At the Lyndon Bindling International Airport, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Melissa Knowles, and welcome to What's Trending. Today is officially Youth Skills Day, and that is who we're featuring on the show. We have a full lineup for you today, so here's what's coming up. From the Bahamas to Forbes magazine, one Bahamian is making her mark in the world. Coming up, we meet the pharmacist, author, and speaker inspiring others through purpose, healing, and impact. Last but by no means least, a degree may open the door, but what keeps it open? Tonight, we explore how one young Bahamian turned an internship into a full-time career and why the skills you build today could shape your future tomorrow. We'll be right back. What's Trending isn't done yet.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Marco's Pizza, Marco's Pizza, something never tasted so good. Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
Tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Tonight, we're celebrating another Bahamian making an impact on the global stage. Born and raised right here in the Bahamas, our next guest has gone from studying at the University of the Bahamas to earning her doctorate in pharmacy, building a successful consulting company, speaking at institutions like Yale School of Medicine, Citibank, and being featured in Forbes.
Bahamian Footprints, presented by Coca-Cola.
Today, she's helping people around the world recognize and prioritize mental wellness through her work as a speaker, consultant, and an author. Joining us via Zoom is Dr. Lornika Joseph. Dr. Lornika, welcome to What's Trending.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It is absolutely a joy, and I'm excited about this opportunity.
It's wonderful to have you with us. Now, let's get right down to it. You were born and raised right here in the Bahamas. I want you to paint a picture for us. What it was like growing up with the values and upbringing and, you know, having stayed you know, here in the Bahamas and then going abroad. Talk to us about what those values that you learned here, how it helped you abroad.
Definitely. So first and foremost, one of the things that I like to tell people is that I am not only a proud Bahamian, but one of the things that I truly believe, and I know for a fact that had it not been for the way that I was raised, family support, community, you know, understanding the need to respect the janitor as much as the school president, the school principal, those values, right? For me, going to a public school, I didn't dream as much as I am experiencing right now because there were also people in my life. So family having support, being raised by the neighbors, your aunties and uncles. So the saying that it takes a village to raise a child, I am the result of that. And so for me, being able to, you know, be in Nassau, I literally sometimes when I come home, I go back to those stomping grounds right off of East Street, being raised by community, being raised by my people who I call my family, the Brick House crew, every one of those individuals poured into me. And so without character development, without, you know, the parental support, the neighbors and the teachers, and even also the friends, you know, who are around, I wouldn't be able to stand and make the impact that I am making here in the U.S. So it all goes back to everything that I experienced while living home for the first few years of my life before migrating here to the U.S.
Now, when you think back to your younger self, did you always imagine that your life would take you beyond our shores? How did you think life would turn out for you? Or did this journey surprise even you?
This journey, but the latter, Melissa, this journey definitely surprised me. I think for me, back then, the younger Lornika, I saw myself, you know, going to college, practicing medicine. But honestly, if someone had showed me the preview, I wouldn't have believed them. But God is definitely taking me further. I saw myself just, you know, going to college or getting a good job, you know, and starting a family. But literally from University of the Bahamas to Florida A&M University to where I am and Forbes and Hall of Fame, I did not see all of this. So literally, when you said, I am completely surprised, I am completely surprised. And as the word says that, you know, God knows the plans, for the plans that I have for you are plans to prosper you. And that is truly what he is doing, is prospering me beyond my wildest dreams. So I did not see all of this success.
Now, you began your academic journey at the University of the Bahamas, and then you continued on to Florida. How did those early years prepare you for the opportunities that followed?
Now, I will say, Melissa, I am a little bit biased. So my initial program, when I started off, before I got my doctorate, it was biochem. And so I remember, and I was just telling someone just a few weeks ago, I remember those days standing in line at formerly COB, which is the Bahamas, standing in line, hoping that your classes were not full, hoping that biochem, hoping that a physics class was open, because of course, if the class was full, you know, that's it. You have to wait another semester. I know what it is, you know, back then waiting for the class to not only open, but waiting to get your transcript and then being resilient, right? Because I tell people, even though, yes, I have accomplished a lot, I know what it is to not only experience a lack of resources, but you have to be resilient. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep calling. You have to do some unnecessary things like, you know, study past the time, you know, be on campus when everyone is gone and you in the library, because at the time we didn't have a computer at home. So all of those things, it taught me resilience. It taught me truly how to walk by faith, even though I didn't know what the rest of my life was going to look like. I was not prepared to quit on myself and my dreams.
Now, I think you and I have that in common with those very long lines at COB and hoping the person in the front doesn't take the last seat in the class, right? So I know exactly what that's like. But was there a teacher or a mentor or some family member who saw something in you before you even saw it in yourself?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's interesting enough, Melissa, because she is literally like, she's still connected with me today. And I know she's probably going to cringe if she's watching. But outside of my mother is deceased. But outside of my mother, I have to give a shout out to Helen Turnquest. She was the first woman that literally like introduced me to a microphone and introduced me to public speaking. Even though I was like, okay, I am nervous. I'm not going to do this well. I am so grateful for teachers, especially in this climate, you know, home in the Bahamas, but teachers are really not only underpaid, but they are underestimated. So I have to give a shout out to every teacher that poured into me, because I did not see what I am doing right now, but I've been doing it for so long that those women and also men, back then, they saw my gift. They saw my gift of communication. They saw my gift of speech, and they harnessed that. I stayed after school, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. I'm still at school, you know, learning and developing my skill for public speaking and impacting people. So I have to give a shout out to my high school teachers at C.R. Walker and, of course, first mentor, Helen Turnquest.
Absolutely. Now, you've accomplished so much, right? Which achievement meant the most to you? Which achievement is personal to you, and why?
I would honestly have to say the one that means the most to me is being featured in Forbes magazine. I remember Melissa getting that opportunity, and it was through a mutual friend. I didn't know that they were looking for someone, and interestingly enough, the editor at the time, she is her parents are from Jamaica, and so when I was getting ready for the interview and she heard the accent, read the bio, there was a connection, because she too not only struggled building her brand here in the U.S., but it was just something that meant that means a lot for me, because coming from a small country as the Bahamas, and not only being featured in Forbes, but that really showed me, and that represented every Bahamian, because we're not just, you know, a people and a country where it's sun, sand, and beautiful sea, but we are resilient people. So to be able to be interviewed by a Caribbean woman who was the editor at the time, to be able to speak to me, being the only Bahamian woman to be featured in Forbes for my work in mental health and in the Black community, that meant a lot, because it was not only the now, but it was also speaking to the past, and the fact that who I am today is because of my village back home in the Bahamas.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about Brightly Awake. Tell me, what exactly is Brightly Awake, and what's the inspiration behind it?
Yes, so Brightly Awake is a consulting and a speaking company, and we provide services one-on-one, and we also provide corporate services. And so that was birthed out of my experience of burnout. And so I know it's a word that, you know, a lot of people kind of throw around, but burnout is really where you've reached your capacity and you cannot function anymore. So the last year of getting my doctorate degree, a lot was going on. A lot of my family members were, you know, either terminally ill. And so I was trying to navigate a lot, and being the eldest, you know, of two, constantly told myself, I can't stop. I got to keep going. People are depending on me, right? When we tend to do that, especially as high achievers. But for me, I had reached my capacity and I started to experience burnout, not only during the program, but also when the first few years of my career. And so Brightly Awake is an awareness that people need to come into. And when you are aware and you are awakened to the changes that you need to make, that's when transformation happens. So transformation happens at home. I truly believe that if you are not performing well at home, it's going to show up in your work. And so that's the foundation and the reason why Brightly Awake was birthed and why it is still functioning today.
Absolutely. Now, of course, one last question before we go. When it's all said and done now, what do you hope people remember about Dr. Lornika Joseph?
So one of the things that I would want people to remember, and interesting, because while I was at Florida A&M University, I minored in journalism, and I remember one of my professors giving us a homework assignment, and the homework assignment was to write out our obituary. And of course, in the beginning, it was like, okay, this class gonna be a lot. This is the first semester, and this is how we starting out. And so one of the things that I want people to remember about me is to remember that if you are not well, everything else around you is going to eventually crumble. And so vulnerability needs to become an asset. You gotta have people in your community. So when it comes to wellness, it's not just taking a medication. It's not just, remedying everything on the surface, but taking the time to dig into your faith, taking the time to connect who you are, your identity with your work. And that is where the true transformation takes place. So I want people to remember that my mission is to mobilize wellness, and wellness is so much more than just losing weight. It is you taking the time to pour into yourself so you can show up personally and professionally for others.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Lornika. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. And thank you for sharing your remarkable journey with us. Your story is a powerful reminder that Bahamian talent, purpose, and determination can even impact far beyond our borders. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you taking your time to join us right here on What's Trending. Now, could the skills you learn today shape your career tomorrow? So after the break, our World Youth Skills Day feature has that answer for you.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
1, 2, 3, what you gonna choose? Strawberry swirl, caramel too. Cookie dough bite, brownies protein. Oreo crunch, make the whole team scream. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Swirl it, twist it, taste that wave. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Cinnamon toast on a cool vanilla. Chocolate base and the flavor gets bigger. Sweet on sweet, yeah, that's the fun. Better get one, better run, run, run. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
So today marks World Youth Skills Day, a United Nations observance meant to spotlight something a lot of young Bahamians feel every day: the struggle to find real opportunity in the workforce. This year, the focus is on AI and digital skills, and the numbers show just how high the stakes are both globally and right here at home. Summer intern Layla Knowles has more in tonight's What's Trending.
Every July 15th, the world pauses to ask a simple question: are we giving young people the tools they need to build a future? That's the purpose of World Youth Skill Day, a United Nations observance declared by the General Assembly back in 2014. It was created to celebrate just how important it is to equip young people with the skills for employment, decent work, and entrepreneurship. This year's theme centers on youth empowerment through AI and digital skills, because as artificial intelligence reshapes economies, technical and vocational training has no choice but to keep up. And the numbers show why this urgency is real. According to by the United Nations, about 450 million young people worldwide are economically disengaged, not because they're lazy, but simply because they lack the skills to succeed in the labor market. 86% of students say they don't feel ready for an AI-enabled workplace. And in 2022, over 40% of young people worldwide were not in employment, education, or training at all. Here at home, the story feels personal too. According to the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, the youth unemployment rate stood at 18% earlier this year, compared to 9% for the country as a whole. In plain terms, young Bahamians were twice as likely to be out of work as everyone else, even as official points to programs like the National Apprenticeship Program and Upskill Bahamas as tools to close that gap. That's exactly what World Youth Skills Day is about, connecting education, training, and entrepreneurship so young Bahamians aren't just prepared for the workforce of tomorrow, but more importantly, are shaping it. Because investing in youth skills today isn't just good policy, it's how the Bahamas builds its future. For What's Trending, I'm Layla Knowles.
As we've seen, investing in young people and their skills is an investment in our future. And speaking of future leaders, today we're recognizing a group of students whose hard work, discipline, and determination have set them apart. Let's celebrate the valedictorians and salutatorians of C.C. Sweeting and the C.I. Gibson Senior High School.
Congratulations to the class of 2026 valedictorian and salutatorian. Your hard work, dedication, and perseverance have earned you this outstanding achievement. As you begin this exciting new chapter, may your future be filled with continued success and limitless opportunities. Our sponsors salute academic excellence and proudly join in celebrating your remarkable achievement.
Being honored with a performance by the Pompey Band in Pompey Square, Bahamian artists such as Julian Believe and Shine 242 pointed out the ways that music is keeping Bahamian culture alive and well.
To be honest with you, the music is really lit this year. The energy across the country, you could feel it, you could see it. I'm proud to live in this moment, and I'm proud to be celebrated today as one of, the musicians here in conjunction with the Ministry of Tourism and TDC. As we sit out there now, you can see a lot of the tourists walking past. They're engaging with it. And the world is getting smaller, and so we want to ensure that the music can translate to people all across the world, not just here. And we're seeing it right before our eyes, There's a lot of the music that's coming out now has just that commercial edge. No disrespect to any of the music, all of it plays a role. But just a lot of the musicians today are just doing their part to keep the culture evolving, and so I'm celebrating that, celebrating the producers, the songwriters, and everyone that plays a role in getting the music to where it needs to be.
For the past 8 years, it has been, evolving. More younger persons are now getting involved with Break and Scrape, understanding that, it's us, it's a part of us. And, they're wearing it loud and proud. And that's actually something good to see. And that means the culture is growing and it's staying alive. I would say, stories from my experiences, other person's experiences, it actually, that's Bahamian music, storytelling. Whether it be funny or whether it be very, very serious, or even talking about love, that's just what we do. We tell a good story. So, it's keeping the tradition alive.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. This is Tourism Today.
degree can open the door to opportunity. Experience helps build confidence, but in today's world, it's skills that determine how far you go. Founder and mentor of the Rise Youth Club, Rakesh Rana, puts it this way: the future won't wait for people to become ready. It rewards those who keeps building themselves before the need becomes urgent. Tonight, we're joined by someone who's living that philosophy. Swanson Gibson Jr. first walked through the doors of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas as an intern. After completing his studies, he returned not as a student, but as a full-time journalist. Swanson, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa. It's an absolute pleasure conversing with you.
It is good to be here with you. You're looking dapper.
1,000%. Likewise.
Yes,
like
thank you. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about who Swanson Gibson Jr. is. So before we find out anything else that has to do with journalism, we need for people to know who is Swanson Gibson Jr. behind, the person who's behind the microphone. So as we would ask in the Bahamian vernacular, boy, who your people is?
My people
Where you come from?
So I am the son of Swanson and Latoya Gibson. They originate from Roxana, Luther, the two lovebirds. I would have fell in love and moved to Nassau, New Providence in the late 90s. Got married eventually. They had me, started a new life. A quarter century later, I'm here, thriving, flourishing. Thanks to them, I wouldn't be here without them. And I've always been passionate about sports. I consider myself to be a strong orator and articulator, so that's how I would have been inspired to choose sports journalism as my career path.
Now, you started out here as an intern. Did you ever think that it would bloom into this full-blown career?
No, I did not, especially given my first stint. So going into my internship, I would have applied to ZNS in 2023 after my first year at Lynn University. I wasn't expecting much of it. I think, maybe I'd do 3-4 stories the most that entire summer from June through August. But my mentor, Charles Fisher, he would have given me the opportunity and, metaphorically speaking, threw me in the fire, so to speak. The Bahamas Games was my introduction to the sports landscape here in the Bahamas. And it meant a lot just to be able to be in the trenches, meet people, connect, just get my feet wet within the sports journalism business. So to answer your question, no, I did not expect to be here full-time, from doing that internship in 2023.
Now, after graduating, you had options. There's traditional media houses here, digital platforms, podcasts, independent creators, even opportunities overseas. But you're here at the Broadcasting Corporation. You're here. You're at home. Why ZNS? Why the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas?
I found a family here at ZNS. The confidence they've instilled with me early in my career has catapulted me. I also would have been a part of Lynn University iPulse News during my time in school. So just those two experiences would have been an immense jolt for me to be able to thrive within the sports journalism space. But even the autonomy that I've been given here, I don't think the average 25-year-old coming out of college would have been given. During my summer breaks, I wouldn't have just done general reporting. I got the opportunity to anchor, which is major. So I think that that definitely catapults me in terms of the competition, in terms of my peers within the sports journalism field. Just all of the skills I would have acquired, I think it benefits me tremendously.
Now, the communications industry has changed dramatically.
Yes.
Anyone with a phone is a reporter these days. Anybody with a phone is a content creator these days. From your perspective, what does it really mean to be job ready in a landscape that's always changing?
Well, I think to be job ready, you have to have both the practical and the interpersonal skills. So whatever you're passionate about depends on the niche. Say you have a passion for production, you should be proficient in video editing and just learning all the various aspects and how you could be better in terms of creating visuals and presenting your art to the world. And then from an interpersonal standpoint, small things, working on an elevator pitch, your confidence, public speaking, things of that nature, they're core aspects to society or whatever industry that you'll fall within, particularly communications and media. And I think particularly with our generation, a lot of us want microwave success and want the infamy and the notoriety, but they're not willing to put the work behind it and actually be in the trenches essentially and work at their craft.
Now, we often hear people focus on degrees and qualifications, but employers are increasingly looking for soft skills too. Which skills have made the biggest difference in your success with communication? Let's talk about teamwork, adaptability, time management. Which one has meant the most to you?
Well, I'm glad you acknowledged those. Time management for one. I feel like every level I progress to, whether it's high school, college, you feel like, you know, once you've mastered one and then you go into the next one, it's like you have to readjust and go back to the drawing board essentially. So I like the challenges that each level brings. Time management is crucial to any aspect of business or regardless of whatever industry you're in essentially. Synergy, I had the privilege in being a part of Lynn University iPulse News, working with so many different people with so many different skills and perspectives and from different cultures. And I think it's important for young students, particularly Bahamian students, to go abroad and to be a part of systems and cultures like that to get a better perspective of the world. Because if you want to be a change maker and a global leader, you have to be comfortable in those environments. So I think the sooner you do that, the better.
Okay, now quickly, as you put a wrap on things, for young people who may be watching, whether they're still in high school or they're in college and they're trying to land their first opportunity, what advice would you give them about turning an internship into an entry-level position or even a long-term career?
Don't be shy to take on opportunity and significant roles. The sooner you do it, the better. It's going to put you ahead of your competitors. I would say to those going to college, maybe this fall, like, get involved as soon as possible. You know, you have people that say they're passionate about this particular niche and whatnot, but they're not willing to put the work behind it. The sooner you get involved, the better. And I'd just like to say, stay encouraged despite the challenges or tribulations. It's pruning essentially, and it's going to make you better. And it's overall going to contribute to your skill set and the way you deliver.
Absolutely, thank you. And Swanson, thank you and congratulations on everything you've accomplished so far.
Thank you so much.
It's always inspiring to see young Bahamians investing in themselves and proving that success is built one skill, one opportunity, and one lesson at a time. And we've got more lined up for you, so stay right here. We'll be right back.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
The internet is an essential tool for children and adults. It can be used to research school reports, communicate with teachers, and play interactive games. But online access also comes with risks, such as inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and online predators. Here are a few safety tips to help keep you and your children safe. Do not post too much personal information such as home addresses and phone numbers. Keep your privacy settings on and practice safe browsing to ensure children don't go on any inappropriate sites. Be careful about posting pictures or your whereabouts when going on vacation. Always know your child's passwords for email addresses and social media.
Football fans, this one's for you. Thursday on What's Trending, see why the Nassau Cruise Port is the place to be for the FIFA World Cup Finals. And that's a wrap for What's Trending. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Grand Bahama records its 8th traffic fatality of 2026. Also, a family escapes serious injury after their vehicle bursts into flames. And labor officials say a zero-tolerance approach is producing results, but more work remains.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, a late-night collision has claimed the life of a 22-year-old man, marking Grand Bahama's 8th traffic fatality of the year. Police say the deadly crash involved 2 vehicles at a poorly lit intersection. And while the investigation remains ongoing, officers are once again urging motorists to slow down and stay alert behind the wheel. Our Shalia Roll has tonight's top story.
It was around this area on Ludford Drive that became the center of police investigation after a late-night traffic fatality. That fatality claiming the life of a 22-year-old male. But here is what police say happened.
The crash involved a Kia vehicle traveling west along Ludford Road in the left westbound lane, and another vehicle, which would have been a Honda Pilot, traveling east along Ludford Road in the left eastbound lane. As a result, a collision occurred at the junction. Both drivers sustained injuries.
A pair of Nike slippers lay beside the driver's seat of the wrecked Kia, with airbags deployed and a wrecker on scene removing the mangled vehicle following the fatal collision. The driver of the Kia Rio, a 22-year-old man who has been unofficially identified as Adrian Reed, was found unresponsive, while the female driver of the Honda Pilot sustained minor injuries.
As a result, one of the drivers was transported to the Ram Memorial Hospital via ambulance. The emergency medical personnel would have tended to the other male driver, where he succumbed to his injuries at the scene.
Police say poor lighting in the area was a contributing factor in the crash. Investigators are continuing to examine all of the circumstances surrounding the fatal collision. As the investigation continues, Inspector Ian Saunders, traffic officer with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, is reminding motorists to obey the posted speed limit. However, Saunders was not able to say if speed was a factor.
At this present time, the matter is under active investigation at this time. The speed limit for the residential areas is 20 miles per hour.
The incident marks Grand Bahama's 8th traffic fatality of 2026, once again highlighting concerns about road safety across the island. Authorities are urging motorists to remain vigilant, especially when driving at night, and to exercise caution at intersections. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
Meantime, firefighters responding to a vehicle fire at the intersection of East Mall Drive and Adventurers Way Tuesday evening, where they found a white van engulfed in flames. Crews quickly extinguished the fire and no injuries were reported. There is no official word yet on what caused the blaze. However, passenger Ashley Nixon described the moments before the fire, saying she first felt the heat near her legs as the vehicle came to a stop in the middle of the intersection.
So we was crossing the road and 2 other cars was on our left and right, and we were just waiting for them to move. So as soon as we started to cross the street, it just stopped. So I felt some heat by my feet, but I thought it was just like, you know, sometimes the cars just run hot. So I put my leg back. My mom was sitting in the back. She was like, that's smoking, but I don't think that's like the regular type of smoke. I think the car on fire. We need to get out. So we start crawling out. We start grabbing everything we could. All our groceries in the back. We just come back from the grocery store, the water place. Everything's still in the back seat. We come out in the middle of the road, and then we start a fire. So we start going more towards over here on the side. Starts cars, the glass start blowing out. I just making sure my brother further back away, because you don't know if it can explode or anything like that. So we didn't know what happened. We don't know what caused it. It just stopped burning up.
Well, the recent suspension of Flamingo's air operator certificate by Civil Aviation Authority Bahamas has disrupted travel plans for many Family Island residents and travelers commuting between Grand Bahama and Abaco. Many are now resorting to one of the oldest transportation links to aid in their journey between islands. Our Cheryl Dames traveled to the eastern end of the island to hear how travelers are adjusting to the change.
With Flamingo Air temporarily grounded, many passengers traveling to and from Abaco are turning to private boating charter services. And for some, that means taking the nearly hour-long drive to the dock here at McLeanstown or in Crown Haven, Abaco, to utilize the long-standing sea route while air service remains suspended.
I work for a nonprofit called Bonefish and Tarpon Trust. Our work spans throughout the Bahamas, so we rely heavily on these pedal jumper flights. I work in education, traveling to different schools. I'm supposed to be heading to Marsh Harbor for a summer camp, and unfortunately, I'm going to be late coming to that camp. I have to go over on the ferry now. I use Flamingo probably maybe once a month to get over to Abaco, but I'm fortunate enough to have the ferry as a backup option, but it's going to be a struggle, especially in the southern and central Bahamas where you have less options.
For these travelers, the ferry has always been their preferred way to get between Grands Bahama and Abaco. They say while the trip takes longer than flying, the service has been a dependable option for years. Meanwhile, they say this is the best time to take note of the importance of establishing more transportation links between the islands, particularly when one mode of travel becomes unavailable.
And every other day you'll hear crowded with people. The boat is what I really do. I'm more of a boat guy. I'm from Morris Island, so we know more about boating than plane.
The flight was more quicker, but I don't know. I think more people can travel on the ferry now. Boat more safer.
Now, while many travelers continue adjusting to the temporary loss of Flamingo Air service, the ferry remains an important link between Grand Bahama and Abaco for those who need to travel. Meanwhile, affected passengers can visit Flamingo Air's main office, where the airline is continuing to process refunds. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Well, a hands-on approach by Ministry of Labor officials to ensure the rights of Bahamian workers are protected is yielding results. According to one labor executive, he says the treatment of Bahamians on the job has remained a top priority following multiple complaints to the department, particularly from workers employed in the industrial areas. More details on this report.
We were very intentional in Grand Bahama about having a hands-on approach, an involved approach that was happening to the workers here and the employees in terms of doing the right thing for the workers.
In 2024, labor officials traveled to Grand Bahama to address complaints raised by Bahamian workers, with allegations ranging from mistreatment by foreign employers to unfair labor practices. At the time, officials stressed that there would be zero tolerance for such matters. Since then, measures have been put in place to help ensure Bahamians are treated fairly on the job.
And so one of the things we did do here is we formed a joint task force with the Department of Labor, Department of Immigration, Clear Blue, a company that supplies Bahamian labor, and the union. And we were able, we meet with the shipyard and others when necessary to make sure that the things are moving smooth, that the good industrial relations is taking place. And we don't tolerate any complaint that comes to labor about any situation.
And the concerns raised in Grand Bahama have not been isolated. In 2025, ZNS News reported on allegations of labor and immigration violations at a development on Norman's Key, following complaints from past and present employees. The allegations sparked a government investigation, with labor officials vowing to protect workers, even in remote areas of the country where some may believe no one is watching. Officials later confirmed that action had been taken, including revocation of a number of expatriate work permits. Now, Executive Director in the Ministry of Labor, Quinton LaRota, says that any complaint brought before the department is investigated immediately. He also wants more Bahamians to understand their rights and responsibilities, both employers and employees.
There's some people who are being mistreated on the job may not be aware that there's a friend in labor. Some employers may not be aware that they could come to labor and be advised on how to address situations before they make themselves a foul of the law. Because labor's a partner with everybody.
LaRota says the department remains committed to doing what is right for Bahamian workers, and while steps have been taken to better protect workers' rights, he admits there is still much work to be done.
Because what we want is a productive community where the workers work hard, they do well, the businesses earn, and that they compensate the workers in accordance with what they deserve, and at the very least, the minimum that's required in law.
Well, a total of 135 graduates crossed the stage at the Bahamas, or BTVI rather, under the theme From Knowledge to Nation Building. Addressing the graduates, Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, says they represent the future of the island's growth and development, encouraging them to use their knowledge and skills to help build a stronger Grand Bahama.
In the grand scheme of things, your graduation is not
an isolated event. It is a part of what our island needs. Grand Bahama is moving with fierce momentum, and we are continuously working to make this island the proving ground for your talent.
BTVI's President Kishan Bastian says she and the faculty are proud of this year's graduates and of the determination they have shown throughout their journey. Among them were 2 female graduates whose experiences highlight the impact of the institution. One graduate says pursuing welding has been empowering, proving that the trade is not just for men. Another shared that BTVI's extensive range of programs helped her discover her passion and choose the career path that best suited her.
Let me say it a second time to those persons that are here. We are proud of you. The leadership team, the board, our ministry, our government officials, we are proud of you.
Stay focused and never give up. And for the females, always remember, nothing is just a man's field. Once you have the will, you can do it.
If you feel like you don't really know what to do in life, just stroll through BTVI catalog, because I was there at some point. I didn't really know what to do. So I came to BTVI and I feel like I found my purpose with taking up human resource management.
Heading into news from police. Police on Grand Bahama have arrested 9 individuals in connection with immigration-related offenses after they were found in the area of Alpine Lane on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. Preliminary reports indicate that it was around 7 p.m. when a concerned citizen notified police after observing suspicious activity outside a residence on Alpine Lane. Officer from the Mobile Division responded and discovered 9 Chinese nationals, 6 males and 3 females. Subsequently, 9 individuals were taken into custody and immigration officials were notified. Additionally, information received is that before the arrival of officers, these individuals were observed on the inside of 3 vehicles, all reportedly driven by Bahamian men who fled the scene, escaping officials. The matter remains under active police investigations.
And still to come.
A real estate company expanding its presence with the opening of a new office, signaling confidence in the local property market. That story, sports, and more when we return.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Protect your business today with Build to Bounce Back, a one-day resilient workshop on Wednesday, July 22nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Pelican Bay Hotel. Register today at events.gbpa.com. Limited seating available.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Use a bin to put it in.
Let's keep it clean.
Yeah. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy. bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye. Put it in the trash, put it in the trash. That's it, put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash, that's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah, just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah, we just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Strong demand in the Bahamas' real estate market is fueling expansion for one international real estate firm. The agency Bahamas is preparing to open its second office, this time in Abaco, as the island's market continues to thrive. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
The agency is an international real estate company with more than 180 offices across 17 countries. Since launching its Bahamian franchise in 2022, the company has continued to grow. Franchise founder and broker Danny Lowe says the strength of Abaco's real estate market and increasing demand prompted the decision to open the company's second office there.
We noticed that, we were achieving sale over sale, and we were getting market share in Abaco, and we wanted to showcase our commitment to the Abaconians by establishing a brick and mortar presence in Abaco.
Lowe notes each visit to Abaco only strengthens his confidence in the island's economy and the decision to open the second office there. He says the signs of growth are evident.
I was at Cheeseburgers in Paradise, last week, which was an amazing event on Fiddle Key, which is close to Green Turtle Key. And you can just see the economic activity by the amount of boats that were there, the amount of tourists that were there. It's clear. I mean, I don't have the data in terms of arrivals, but you can see a lot of happy people in one place.
With 4 agents currently on the ground, the broker explains that there are only a few final licensees still outstanding. Despite those remaining approvals, he says the company is on track to officially open its doors in November.
You can expect some dynamic marketing. I think we take pride in the way that we position our properties to the market. We make sure that every property that we list, there's a story that's being told. So you can expect some fun and creative marketing in terms of the way we present real estate in Abaco.
The agency's international profile has been further elevated through its appearance on the Netflix series Buying Beverly Hills, which aired for 2 seasons. Lowe says Abaco stands apart from the rest of the Bahamas, describing it as a market driven by lasting relationships, long repeat visitors, easy boating access, and a deep appreciation for the island lifestyle. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Well, in the wake of the devastating Independence Day plane crash in Andros, which has left the nation in mourning, the Grand Bahama Christian Council is urging Bahamians to draw strength from their faith and stand united during this difficult time. President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Kenneth Lewis, says tragedies of this magnitude remind the country of the importance of compassion, unity, and prayer. To cover the nation, the Grand Bahama Christian Council is calling on all spiritual leaders to come together for a time of prayer.
We are scheduling a time of prayer on Independence Park on Thursday at 6 p.m. when we are asking all prayer warriors, evangelists, apostles, ministers, pastors to come out. We're going to join hands and we're going to offer prayers for those families who lost their loved ones on Independence Day.
Gabrielle Grant, you are our Facebook friend of the night. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope that you are doing well. And that does it for this portion of the news. Be sure to stay tuned. Shane Stubbs has your check on sports when we come back.
To a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, Just call 352-RENU.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I like this one.
Before us, there was an idea.
That idea allows us to serve you. Because it's not.
It's not just about the shoes.
It's all about helping our customers.
Look good and feel good.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at ZNS3news@gmail.com.
Cabinets play a major role in both the function and appearance of your home. To keep them looking their best, wipe spills as soon as they happen and clean surfaces regularly using a soft cloth and mild soap. Avoid hanging excessive weight on cabinet doors and periodically check hinges and hardware to make sure everything stays secure. With proper care, quality cabinetry can continue looking beautiful and performing well for many years to come. Quality products deserve quality care. Cornet, Bahamas.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Let's keep it clean. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. Team Bahamas is home after delivering a 20-medal performance at the NACAC Under-18 and Under-23 Championships. The high altitude in Mexico was no easy test, but head coach John Ingram says his athletes rose to the challenge.
The altitude was 8,000 feet. You know, our grandmama kids are resilient, and they were able to perform the best of their ability even through the circumstances, even though it's hard to breathe. You know, it shows that we are resilient here at Grandmama, and the kids did very well and secure medals for us.
While Under-18 stand-up Keisha Thomas and Under-23 Dynamo Giovanni Bridgewater came up short in their individual efforts, both found success during relay duty, with Thomas helping the Under-18 girls secure the gold medal in the 4x100 meters and Bridgewater helping Team Bahamas earn the silver in the Under-23 4x400 meters.
I feel like I had a good competition. Despite of everything, I was able to go over there, do my best, put my best foot forward, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I just want to thank God for allowing me to go over there, stay healthy, and finish everything that I went over there to do.
They have Worlds next month, so coming from there and going to Worlds, it gave me a confidence boost knowing that I was in the time range in the worst condition.
But I can run better when I go there.
Now, Thomas and Bridgewater will also be joined by Zion Shepherd and Saniko Ilett on the World Athletics Under-20 team, set to compete in Eugene, Oregon, August 5th to the 9th. And following this performance, GB3A's President Emmett Higgins expects the athletes will be primed and ready.
It speaks volume of what they would have done all season, the hard work that they would have put in. We expect great things from them. So we just look forward to their performances moving forward.
Meanwhile, in Orlando, Florida, it wasn't a bad trip for the Falcons Boys Club. No, they didn't finish as champions, but they finished as the second-place runner-up in the Under-13 division of the Youth Basketball of America National Championship. They fell to the TNT Ballers 49-43. Tariq Stoll was named as the team MVP, and the team was coached by Martin McGregor and Kyle Maycock. And that's my time, everyone, but your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Get you all on the rebound.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
Use a bin to put it in. Let's keep it clean. Yeah. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a former civil aviation investigator sheds light on aviation protocols and recommendations as authorities work to piece together what exactly led to that Independence fatal crash. Plus, what the next phase of Abaco's Winding Bay looks like and what its plans mean for that Family Island community. And beach safety essentials, and not just for you, but those trusted to help keep you safe. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Less than a week in, and we're all still coming to terms with the realization that 10 lives were lost in a fiery crash in North Andros. And while authorities comb through the evidence in hopes of determining what led to the tragedy, a former safety aircraft inspector and investigator says the incident is exactly why rigorous, no exception inspections should not be ignored. LaDawn Davis has tonight's top story.
Aviation safety specialist and former CEO of Sky Bahamas Airlines, Captain Randy Butler, recommends that the country's aviation sector undergo stricter surveillance to ensure those certified uphold aviation standards. The former airline accident investigator says extensive inspections every 6 months must be carried out before small airlines are deemed airworthy.
I think it's just a matter of supporting the civil aviation in their job, and there to be regular inspections of the airlines, whether it's Bahamas Air, Western Air, Southern Air, or Flamingo, or the smaller charter companies, the Blessings and all of those, that they're complying with the standard to which they've been certified. I think that that's important, and because the illegal ones are exactly that, you know. There's no standard for them to go by because it's an illegal thing. And so I think we need to make sure that that's not happening.
He says flights to and from the Bahamas are in high demand due to our geographical makeup. And despite that tragic plane crash that claimed 10 lives on Independence Day, airlines are still moving at the airport, but at a cost. The former pilot also touched on the concerns by passengers on overloading and unbalanced airlines. He says there should be a system in place to address it.
There's a system that is set to provide for that, and one is that you have to weigh the bags. You have to actually weigh the bags. And the people need to be weighed or given their weights. That is put into a calculation of weight and balance to let you know if you could take those people or how they have to be seated on the airplane.
Butler, who has served extensively in the aviation sector, says a manifest to identify all passengers on board any aircraft is crucial.
I'll tell you, the experience of being at a site where you have a homecoming and everybody's expecting their loved one to come home and they hear about an accident, now you have 200-300 people that are in horror, screaming and hollering because they don't know if their loved one is on the plane, and there's no way for them to know at the time. And that's why it's mandated by the authority that the names and IDs of persons are put on a manifest, and that manifest is left, one copy of that manifest is left at the destination.
The aviation consultant says commercial flying is still the safest way if those who are tasked behind the wheels are following safety protocols. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Meantime, we're learning more about the final moments of the ill-fated Flamingo Air flight last Friday. Investigators say the Cessna aircraft left the Lyndon Pinley International Airport around 12:30 p.m. on Independence Day, with the pilot making his final routine communication with air traffic control at 12:41 p.m. 5 minutes later, the aircraft began descending from about 1,000 feet by 12:48 p.m. All communications had ceased and it plunged into the pine forest below. Chief Accident Investigator Kendall Dorsett describes what investigators have determined about the aircraft's final moments.
The impact with trees, and the aircraft after that would travel a short distance before coming to rest in a heavily wooded area. And this area was to the west of the runway 12 of the San Andreas Airport, at a distance of approximately 1 nautical mile. The aircraft was destroyed by fire, with 9 persons receiving fatal injuries. 1 occupant survived the aftermath of the crash sequence. The surviving occupant was able to evacuate the aircraft after the crash sequence, and he made it for a short distance. However, he later succumbed to his injuries in a short time. On scene, during our observations, it was determined that the landing gear was observed to be in an extended position, and the flaps were also observed to be in an extended position. So based on those observations, it would appear that the aircraft would have been configured for landing at the time of the accident.
The Accident Investigation Authority continues its probe into that fatal crash, with investigators focusing on several key areas.
So some of the documents that we will be reviewing include maintenance records, pilot's records, ATC records, weather, witness statements, fuel uplift, and human factors issues. So that's just a snippet of what we're going to have to go through. Priorities moving forward. So certainly we want to ensure that the AAIA continues to conduct its investigations in accordance with international standards. That's the main objective. The second objective is to ensure that the families are given priority in terms of information released on the progress of the investigation.
And as impossible as it seems, family, friends, loved ones, and even strangers managed to find joy amid this tragedy. Many came together last night for a candlelight vigil and celebration in tribute to the fallen 10. Many of the crash victims had connections to the Andros community, and so it was fitting the venue last night was the Pond Restaurant and Bar. The Fire Trail Road Hangout also holds special ties with the Pond Band. 5 of its members were among those killed in last Friday's Downing. Emil Sweeting, a.k.a. DJ Rev, helped organize the event and spoke about how he feels those lost will be remembered.
The legacy will go on. If they were to come back and say something, they would say, hey, carry on. Carry on. These people died happy going to Andros to represent the Bahamian culture as it pertains to rake and scrape and carrying on the entertainment industry. So the legacy will be even greater, building upon the foundation when they left.
Entertainer Nishi Ellis among those who took the stage last night. She worked closely with the band, and though emotions are still running high, she said she needed to be there.
We've been working together for years, and we've developed such a very close-knit relationship. You know, it's almost like we grew up together. So the relationship, the chemistry, the evolution of the Pond Band over the years, I've been able to watch it from its inception. And to see how gifted and talented and disciplined all of the musicians and the vocalists was.
Coming up, expansion at the Abaco Club. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good conch salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Long summer, hot sun, people coming over, and nobody feeling like cooking. This summer, wait for the sign. Presenting KFC Summer Bucket, the official meal of the summer.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
50 years of nation building, see the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows through us. From the Pine Barrens to the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we are building for tomorrow, and the future flows through us. Yeah, yeah. Yes, the future flows through us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation, celebrating 50 years of nation building.
1, 2, 3, what you gonna choose? Strawberry swirl, caramel too. Cookie dough bite, brownies protein. Oreo crunch, make the whole team scream. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Swirl it, twist it, taste that wave. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Cinnamon toast on a cool vanilla. Chocolate base and the flavor gets bigger. Sweet on sweet, yeah, that's the fun. Better get one, better run, run, run. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
My name is Olivia Paget. I'm the owner of the Stone Crab Restaurant. I chose Bank of Bahamas as my financial partner because it's a local bank. They take care of all my financial transactions. The payroll goes through them. I describe my relationship with the Bank of Bahamas team as very friendly, really working with me as a business owner, and they are very helpful when it comes to giving advice on how to make these dreams reality.
This portion of the news is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. RBC has just the right loan you need with affordable financing.
You're looking at a shot there of the Church of God in Christ headquarters on East Street South, where the jurisdictional bishop is the Right Reverend Tony Leroy Hanna. And that shot courtesy the gang of Kyson Miller. Thanks, Kyson. Well, welcome back. The Water and Sewage Corporation last evening sealed its legacy as it celebrated 5 decades of service. Officials say the focus now is on modernizing the country's water infrastructure, improving water quality, and expanding capacity to meet growing demands. Lloyd Allen tells us more.
Government officials, along with executives of the Water and Sewage Corporation, converging at the corporation's University Drive office to commemorate 50 years of providing potable water across the country. Keynote speaker, Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says 50 years marks quite a significant milestone in the growth of the company, and the next 50 years will represent even further progress.
The story of Water and Sewage Corporation, as you've heard, is inseparable from the story of our nation's development. 3 short years after independence, our nation made a visionary decision to establish the Water and Sewage Corporation at a time when the Bahamas faced growing demands for water. Together with the international partners such as the IDB and the CDB and our public-private partners, our government is overseeing more than $300 million in climate-related financing and strategic investments that are transforming the Bahamian water sector.
Aviation Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, adding that the focus for the corporation remains people-centered.
People come first. Every decision we make is guided by the thousands of customers we serve each day across our archipelago. Our commitment to people extends beyond those we serve externally. It begins within our own organization. They are the heart of our success.
WRC Executive Chairman Trajane Jadaret expanded on efforts to cap the cost of non-revenue water.
In 2014, through aggressive leak detection programs, infrastructure upgrades, and operational efficiencies, the corporation saved more than 1 billion gallons of water. Thereafter, in a 3-year span, the corporation had total water savings of more than 2.5 billion gallons of water.
General Manager Robert Deal says as the corporation observes its Golden Jubilee, it's also looking ahead to a new era with the time capsule set to open in 2076.
Within it are letters and notes from students across our nation, sharing their vision for the future of water and sanitation in the Bahamas.
As the corporation looks to the future, it is building on its legacy with a renewed commitment to expanding water capacity, improved quality, and delivering more reliable services to customers. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, a multi-million-dollar expansion project is underway for a major property on Abaco as officials look to make it not just bigger, but better. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
$150 million has already been poured into the luxurious Abaco Club, but the work is not ending. Construction is now underway on what will be a $350 million reinvestment for the next phase for the private club at Winding Bay. Vice President of Operations Bill Chrysler says some 25 new homes are now under construction on the property that already boasts 130, with plans to construct another 20 in 2027.
In addition to that, we're also in the process of expanding the club. We just opened a new Bay Club, oceanfront pool right on the water, new racket center, and we're working on a new kids club and spa to add more amenities for the members as we continue to bring more people here to the Bahamas to enjoy the beauty that's here.
The expansion won't end there, as Chrysler reveals that the plan is to add approximately 20 homes each year over the next 5 to 6 years. The Abaco Club has approximately 280 employees, with 150 construction contractors on property at any given time, most of which Chrysler says are Bahamians. The club that has seasonal occupancy just got off its busiest season to date, with Chrysler sharing high occupancy through the July 10th Independence holiday.
Just literally slowed down Sunday for the first time since last November. I would say we typically run 60%, 65% occupancy. That being said, about 60 of our 130 homes aren't in the rental pool, so those are just owners coming, and they obviously don't live here full-time year-round. So we're never, other than the week after Christmas till New Year's, we're never really at 100% here at the club.
The luxury development is also making its presence felt in the community as a corporate partner, having previously partnered with the Ministry of Education for its Excellence in Education initiative. It is now poised to sponsor 2 schools on Abaco with technology needs, including BTVI, to help expand trades locally.
Our owners, our president, they all have houses here at the Abaco Club. They're regulars here, and just the community is amazing. The people here are amazing, and we're just happy to be part of that community.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, thanks, Cleo. In other news tonight, a recently discharged Sandilands patient, the latest to attempt suicide here in the capital. Police pegging down the time of the incident to just before noon. It was around that time that they received a report that a woman had jumped off the Sydney-Poitier Bridge. Now, investigating officers were directed to Portaski Dock, where the woman was reportedly aboard a vessel, bare feet, wearing a black and white dress, and wrapped in a white sheet, receiving assistance from EMS. The investigation so far suggests the 31-year-old had reportedly discontinued her prescribed medication. She was taken to hospital for further medical treatment and evaluation after complaining of pain in the lower extremities. Police also reporting the alleged sexual assault of an 18-year-old American girl at a hotel in Western New Providence. The alleged perpetrator, a 17-year-old American boy. Now, based on the story given to authorities, the victim, her sister, and a friend met the suspect and another male at the hotel around 11 p.m. Tuesday. After talking, the victim and the suspect reportedly left the bar area with alcoholic beverages and went to the pool area. The teenager claimed she temporarily lost consciousness at a cabana, and when she awoke, she found the suspect sexually assaulting her. She reportedly told him to stop, but he refused, holding her against her will until security personnel arrived. The victim was taken to hospital. As for the 17-year-old boy, he was arrested and cautioned in the presence of his attorney. Meantime, 39 illegal migrants charged in a magistrate's court yesterday for various offenses. The group convicted of overstaying and illegal landing, charges to which they all pleaded guilty. They were given fines or prison sentences in default. The court also ordered they be deported once they pay their fines or complete prison sentences. The latest conviction follows the recent deportation of a group of 34 foreign nationals to their home countries. That group included 24 Haitians, 4 Chinese, 3 Dominicans, a Romanian, and a Venezuelan male. Well, when an emergency unfolds at the beach, they're the first ones expected to answer the call. But behind the rescues, many lifeguards of Public Parks and Beaches Authority say there are serious concerns that can no longer be ignored. Maya Moss reports.
Every day they watch beaches, prepared to spring into action at a moment's notice. But while the mission is to protect lives, Bahamian lifeguards say far too often their own safety is at risk, begging the need for more resources, equipment, and protection.
We have like little kids that comes by, you know, that they want to try like to test their limit, as they try to like go past the buoy, you know, so if anything, that'll be more of a risk for us lifeguards, because you know that we only certified to go so far. We're not allowed to go past the buoys.
On Chongano Beach, that's where we solve really all the problems. See, like over here, ain't really too much problems we have to worry about, because over here, we only get to worry about people passing the buoy line. But on Chongano Beach, you get people jumping off the pier. Then we have people who drunk, and we just gotta watch out for them. We just gotta keep a close eye on them.
2-year lifeguard Onan Roberts has his own experience with youngsters being poorly supervised, or in some instances, not at all.
There's lifeguards here. It means you should just go about your day, you know, because you see lifeguards. You should still monitor your kids as well, because sometimes I may miss something that you may see. 4 eyes are better than 2. You know, you can never have enough eyes on the water because things happen in such a short time.
In the meantime, if you're headed to the beach or pool this summer, be sure to watch the winds, beware of surroundings, stay within designated swimming areas, and never swim alone. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
to Freeport, Exuma to Inagua, Elutra, and drugs. Everywhere we go, we're Bahamians and we proud. Say it clear, say it loud. Island love, wishing love to the Bahamas right now. Gold, black, aquamarine, best island you ever seen. Wave your flag, live your dream. Happy 53. Island love, say.
Happy 53rd Independence Bahamas from Island Luck. Island Luck Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win big, and we mean fully loaded big. Place your bets. Every wager puts you in the running. The grand prize, a brand new 2026 Jet Tour T2 SUV, plus a 75-inch smart TV. Starlink with a full year of internet and bi-weekly prize drawings from now until August 31st. Island Luck Sportsbook, where every game is a chance to change your life.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC, Bahamas.
Marco's Pizza, Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so.
Well, we're going to take a shortcut and jump straight over to Royston and Marlena tonight, who are going to give us a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access
I like
Now.
that shortcut. I like the shortcut too. Well, Makushla, we're in the middle of July, middle of summer. We've got summer camps going on. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming tonight, but we're going to be talking about BAF Summer Camp in Exuma. I believe they're in their 11th year. We're going to learn a lot about what happens there, why it's so popular. A lot of history. Over a decade, yeah. Absolutely. Well, if the kids are stressing you out and you can't wait for them to go back to school come September and thinking about the end of the summer, there's also a locally produced beverage that's hitting stores called Monument. We're going to tell you why it's monumental that you taste it.
Well, I'll tell you, those summer camps are a real lifesaver for parents. I'll tell you that.
Until I don't have kids.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Windows do more than improve your view. They also help maximize the natural light entering your home. For regular maintenance, use a soft microfiber cloth and a gentle glass cleaner. Don't forget to wipe down the frames and tracks as well, since dust and debris can build up over time. If your windows slide or open, keeping the tracks clean can also help them to operate more smoothly. Quality products deserve quality care. Corner Bahamas.
So the storm has passed. Danger may still be near. Avoid downed power lines and flooded roads. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Only travel if absolutely necessary. Report hazards and stay informed. Recovery begins with caution and care.
The tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
And before we leave, we'd like to wish Levance Adderley a happy birthday from his mom, our beloved Andrea Genoa. And that does it for the National Report. But stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
I was in a plane crash in June 1983. I lost my left arm. I had some good friends, came along, fishing guides. They said, man, we can teach you to fly fish. Exuma, exuma. Can you see? Look at it, man. One of the nicest places you want to be in the world. There were challenges learning to cast, learning to put a fly on a leader, learning to tie the different knots for me as a handicapped individual. As a matter of fact, I don't really feel handicapped because I could do everything, man. Anything anybody could do, I think I could do it too. Because with your mindset to do anything, no matter what you are, what you look like, what's happening to you, you can do it. Persons in our positions, it's hard to get fundings and very, very expensive. SBDC would be helpful in regards to help funding people with disabilities. So nothing is impossible if you're disabled, any kind of disability. Put faith in God and trust God. Believe you will overcome.
Getting ready for a festive celebration of all things Bahamian. Director of Cultural and Authentic Events at the Ministry of Tourism, Nicola Reed Simmons, announced the upcoming arrival of the highlight of the summer season, Goombay Summer Festival 2026.
So this Saturday, July 18th, Goombay comes alive on Bay Street between 12 noon and midnight. We invite residents and visitors alike to come out and enjoy the very best of Bahamian culture, heritage, and entertainment. Patrons can look forward to cultural games, delicious Bahamian treats, and live demonstrations from our Bahamian craft village. The Educulture Goombay Museum will also be on full display, offering an opportunity to learn more about our rich history and our traditions. As the sun goes down, the excitement continues with performances by some of the Bahamas' top entertainers. So Black Swan, that's going to be our house band. Cupid is going to perform, Sherrod Taylor, Lady E, the king of rake and scrape himself, Bloody, and Gino D. So no Goombay celebration will be complete without a traditional Goombay rush out and, of course, an energetic Junkanoo rush out. So we want to encourage everyone to come on out and enjoy this free event. Goombay celebrates our culture and our people and our way of life. It provides a unique opportunity for both residents and visitors to experience and learn more about what makes the Bahamas special.
Tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Happy Hump Day. You're tuned into Access Now, and I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard with the lighter side of news tonight.
Absolutely. And joining us live tonight is Diane Dorset, who's been bringing us nothing but hot news all week. I feel like it's the heat, the whole heat, and nothing but the heat. What says you?
Yes, it is. It is so hot, and it's summer. So I know everyone wants to be outside, but please, 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 do not take the recommended precautions lightly. You want to drink plenty of water, you want to wear protective clothing, and you remember to wear your sunscreen.
Maybe even take it a step further, find a shady area, get out of direct sunlight, or stay inside, find a friend with AC.
Find a tree real quick.
Yes. A few simple precautions, they really go a long way. And if you follow me, I'll tell you why. Because when we take a look at our satellite picture, we're seeing clouds over the northwest Bahamas, resulting from the northern extension of a westward moving tropical wave just south of the Bahamas. This will slightly elevate shower chances for some areas, but high pressure will continue to dominate all areas. So with this current heat wave, like I said, it's so important for residents and visitors to take the necessary precautions. We've now settled into the 90s degrees, but humidity will make things feel triple-digit hot. But for some good news, elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is very low for the next 7 days. Now looking at our 3-day boating forecast, in the northwest Bahamas, we've got light and variable winds with seas at 1 to 3 feet and high tides at 9:35 this evening and again at 10 o'clock in the morning. In the central Bahamas, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. And finally, in the southeast Bahamas tonight through Friday, we'll get east to southeast winds picking up at 15 to 20 knots with seas at 4 to 7 feet. Therefore, small craft operators, you are advised to exercise caution. It is time now for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Reach the hostess whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the hostess whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the hostess whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop.
These temperatures surely feel like they were whip-whopping us. Now, that was your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance, and that wraps up your access to the forecast. But remember to join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great evening, everyone.
And how you going to leave us with a whip-whop song and don't play the full thing? We need more of that. But we want to thank you for joining us live in studio for the first time. It was very exciting. Oh, yeah. Of course, stick around. Summer program ensuring students who fall below their academic requirements are all caught up. That coming up next before the new school year begins.
Plus, Camp BAF was back this year for the 11th annual Summer Club. We take a look inside their field trips, etiquette classes, and everything they did this summer.
Also later in the show, the Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau celebrates a milestone anniversary. Find out how they're marking the big one.
And of course, your Access Now Total Sports Report is coming up.
Of course it is, but next we get Monumental with Caribbean Wines and Spirits and their new ready-to-drink cocktails. We'll give it a taste next. I'm very excited.
Stay with us. The show gets even more delicious after the break.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Portion of the news is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Your idea of getting there happens with RBC.
Welcome back. You're watching Access Now, and a new 100% locally produced, ready-to-drink alcoholic cocktail is on the market, all thanks to Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
Absolutely. It's called Monument, and the maker says it's made to celebrate, a theme that perfectly encapsulates everything the brand represents.
And here to tell us all about it are Lauren Clark and Cara Douglas Adderley. So, Monument, tell us all about this brand and what inspired the name.
So the name was inspired by our local production. However, we were challenged, I want to say about 2.5 years ago, to come up with a local ready-to-made cocktail that is authentically Bahamian and really inspired by our islands, both through taste and packaging. We spoke earlier about how important packaging is and making sure that it looks gorgeous in every way that it is presented. But we were being courted by a number of international RTDs, and just thinking about what was missing in our market was a ready-to-made cocktail that had great quality, no aftertaste, really making sure that there's great taste profile and being local. So
and you can't miss it. That branding, you can't miss it at all.
Which I have to ask you about. Of course, this is perfectly timed with summer being here. Ready-to-make cocktails are absolutely the thing for summer. But I want to ask you about the 3 designs I'm seeing. So that means there are 3 flavors. But talk about the design and flavors behind this brand.
So the 3 flavors.
Yeah, so we have Peach Passion, which is really smooth and goes down with a delicate finish. And then if you are interested in something with a bit more citrus, we have the Ginger Lime, which is perfect. And then, of course, if you like something with more sweetness, we have the Melon Fizz. So we have something for everyone's palate.
That sounds great to me.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is the Ginger Lime and the Peach Passion.
I was going to say.
Ginger lime. Ginger beer growing up was always my favorite soda, so anything ginger lime, I want to dig into that if we can.
You're going to love that, yeah.
As soon as I have a chance to, it'll get a little sample.
I think now's your chance.
Let's
go ahead.
I want to pour up one if I can of the ginger lime. And I love the design. Again, the color really sells me really well. I'm a visual buyer, so anything with a lot of color, especially when it has a Bahamian twist to it, I'm going to buy this straight away. Where can we start to find these?
Sorry, before we get to where we can find it, the Bahamian twist, as we talked about earlier, Monument is the name of the company and the brand, and we're really focused on local monuments, landmarks, and historic sites. So each one of the packaging you'll see highlights something different. You can explore them yourself. You can check out our website to get details on what they are exactly. But some of them are the Elbow Reef Lighthouse, the Queen's Staircase, and then the Public Library right there on Shirley Street.
This is ginger lime, correct?
Yeah. It is.
I see it's 5.2%. Is that consistent across all of them?
They are.
Okay, a little refresher. If you see me stumbling a little bit later, you know why.
I'm reading most of the stuff in the rest of the show. What do we think?
Oh, have mercy.
It's delicious.
It's refreshing. I love the lime coming through. The ginger is subtle too. Perfect. Perfect. Can't wait to drink this on a beach.
Yes. It's very
well, here's to a monumental rest of the week. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
You can have more of that, aren't you? Oh, yeah. It's like...
And congratulations to Water and Sewage for putting on such an amazing event. Let's get ready to play ball.
My name is Arlington Bethel. I'm the Safety and Environment Manager at the Water and Sewage Corporation. The purpose of the event was to a part of our celebration for the 50th anniversary of the existence of the corporation. And as you can see, we're in the baseball stadium to complete the tournament. And that was as a result of the efforts by the NSA to accommodate us because the fields across the way has been rained out this morning in that heavy rain and lightning storm. We hope to have this almost like an annual event. We have a co-ed team in the league right now. We hope to have a men's team once we get some additional sustainable resources in terms of human resources that can play and represent the corporation in a very positive way.
First of all, let me say congratulations and happy 50th anniversary to Water and Sewage. And I must give hats off to the organizers for putting on such an event that will allow persons from the various government agencies to come together and co-ed and play a game such as softball. It's a healthy game. It allows them to stay in shape, you know, and as we get older, I see a couple of 50 plus out there still look like they got it. So I want to say hats off to the organizers of this event to ensure that we continue to keep ourselves healthy as we continue to go to day-to-day, 9 to 5 on the job, but still to understand that exercising and stuff like this is important so that we can keep ourselves healthy.
Shopping cart has more savings than a shopping cart at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.39. Mahatma long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $4.89. Whole chicken wings, $1.79 per pound. Sweet blueberries, 1 pint, $4.99. Fresh romaine hearts, 3-pack, $5.99. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Smart shoppers shop the specials at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, and Shop Smart, and Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Welcome back. Believe it or not, we're now 196 days into the year. Now, a group of friends got together and decided that we should challenge each other to start a new hobby, started by August 1st, and present it within 6 months. We're thinking like present in the new year. I thought about golf initially, but I'm ready about a year and a half, 2 years into golf. So
Like
I'm
a
thinking
talent
about, I mean, like a hobby of sorts. And
Okay.
then maybe you present it at not a semi-professional level, but just like present it to make
Here's
sure
what I've learned.
you're accountable.
Okay.
Right? So I'm thinking maybe a driftwood art thing, maybe some wood carving, perhaps a wood burning. What about you?
I think maybe
That's a tough
ballet.
one.
Yeah, I used to do ballet when I was younger. So maybe going back to ballet, like adult ballet classes, or I've never done horseback riding. So maybe
Horseback riding would be incredible.
Yeah.
I think that's a great one. And I think that's a takeaway here. You don't have to wait until the new year to start something new.
It's true.
I'm going to see if I can commit to that very soon because it's almost August 1st. Shall we dig in? For some students, summer vacation isn't just a break from school, it's an opportunity to get ahead. At T.A. Thompson Junior High School, educators are using the holiday to provide targeted academic support, giving students who need that extra help another chance to strengthen the foundation they'll need for the upcoming school year. Shaquille Dames reports.
Officials at the T.A. Thompson Junior High School are taking a different approach to teaching. This summer, they've brought back their Extended Learning Academy, a program that offers students a more personalized approach to learning.
We know that during the regular semester, there are large classes. Some students don't do well in large classes. And so the summer program is designed to allow those students who don't do well or who aren't performing up to what we consider an acceptable standard or acceptable level to get some small, intentional, personal focus. Once we would have looked at report cards and we would have compared their performance over the term, we would have identified approximately 90 students who we thought we deemed would benefit from smaller classroom.
Beyond classroom instruction, the school is also strengthening learning through student leadership. Academic success coach Sandra Petit says peer-to-peer engagement has become an important part of the school's academic support strategy.
We started our peer tutoring program here at T.A. Thompson this year, mainly with our grade 9s, assisting our grade 7s with the reading. And we had that program for the first 4 months of this final term of the school year, and we found that that was very successful for our grade 7s, and our grade 9s, they enjoyed it as well.
Because we need you to be where you actually should be. You're struggling in some areas, and because we value education here, as well as in the entire educational system, we want them to understand and their parents to understand that this extra time is being given to you so that we can help you to get to the level where you should be.
Students facing academic challenges are receiving extra support through remedial programs, success coaching, and summer school initiatives designed to help them improve and succeed. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shaquille Dames.
Thanks so much, Shaquille. Well, speaking of the kids, it's one of many summer camps being hosted across the country. But a little birdie tells us for children on the island of Exuma, Camp BAF is always a hit. The summer club returned for the 11th time this year, and it seems to have not missed a beat. Cleopatra Murphy takes us inside.
The final day of the annual Camp BAF ended with a stop at the now iconic Exuma sign for more than 100 campers before culminating with the most anticipated trip to the beach, where campers eagerly somersaulted into crystal clear water. Those were just a few of the activities many of the returning campers participated in during the week-long Camp BAF that coordinator Cecilia Cooper says is always a fun time for participants.
This is our way to give back and impact the youth. Many of these children, we know them from they were born, and now they are ready to graduate from school. So the camp was exciting, and I think students had a great time.
From basketball to etiquette, the camp boasted a lot for campers aged 4 to 17 to do. Some of them are giving it high praise.
I really love how Ms. Cooper decided to put etiquette class in there because I really love it. I love how to learn how to be chivalrous. I love how to learn how to dine at a table. I love to learn how to have better table manners.
I love the food, the activities, and the people who were there.
Camp co-coordinator Yannick Charlton says the camp has grown over the past 11 years and it gives children an outlet. Volunteer Sherelle Cash agrees.
Something different for the students this year. We had the STEM program that we introduced. We had dance and Zumba along with the arts and crafts, and last year we extended the program where we had 2 camps with the 13 plus, and they did various things in the community and also did some preparedness. We got them ready for the real world.
This is their time off from school, so we try to give them as much time to, reconnect with new friends and, have fun doing whatever we get to teach them.
For the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thank you so much, Cleopatra. This month, the Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau celebrates 50 years of service over self. The club marking its golden anniversary with a special ceremony at the Nassau Yacht Club celebrating all of their accomplishments and contributions to the Bahamas, from housing to charity. Hoping to recount some of the club's history and accomplishments was Larry Roberts, who served as club president in 1986 and 1987 and was one of the original 12 charter members here in the Bahamas.
I got the idea, well, why don't we do a Hands Across the Bahamas? And so I brought it to our club members. We thought it was a great idea. And then we realized it was much too big just for our club. So then we involved all of the Rotary clubs, and all the Rotary clubs got together. And in 1988, we had the Hands Across the Bahamas event, which raised over $150,000.
Rotary has achieved a lot over the years, and in order to stay involved in the community, they've had to continue evolving on several fronts. One of their most important steps forward was their decision to welcome women into the club in 1989. Since then, there have been countless prominent female club members, including Azalita Ishmael Nuri, Director of Public Image, with whom we spoke with at the anniversary event.
I am the second female Rotarian, and we've had many more after. Our club today is about a little over 50% women. We have had many female presidents, and what have we brought to it? I think diversity, equity, inclusion is really important, and I think also our hard work ethics, not to be biased, but we just brought a different way of doing things, and we all managed to work together, roll up our sleeves. Always remember it's about service above self.
Such a great milestone. Congratulations to Southeast Nassau.
Well, stay with us. You're watching Access Now. There's more coming up after the break.
Savings in every aisle, shoppers can't help but smile at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Seabass chunk tuna, 5 ounces, 79 cents. Country Barn mayonnaise, 30 ounces, $3.69. Fresh ground beef, $5.99 per pound. Boneless chicken breast, $2.79 per pound. Russet potatoes, 5-pound bag, $3.99. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Smart shoppers shop the specials at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
He's on the streets. Basketball Classic 2026 is here. Don't miss
It's our family night. Sunday, July 19th from 4 p.m. Featuring our championship game. Pastors versus politicians. Plus the Joey Slam Down contest. And the Mr. Ship It 3-point shootout. Bring the family. Lots of prizes like big screen TV, round trip tickets, weekend stays, and more. Sunday, July 19th at the Secandal I-6 Gymnasium.
Bahamas. Hurricane season is here. Are you ready? The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially runs from June 1st through November 30th. 6 months of staying alert and prepared. Storms are named to help meteorologists, emergency officials, and the public communicate clearly and quickly during dangerous weather events. Hurricanes are also measured using the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale, which ranks storms from categories 1 through 5 based on wind speed and potential damage. And did you know, when a hurricane becomes especially deadly or destructive, its name is permanently retired out of respect for the lives and communities affected. Now is the time to prepare your emergency kit with a portable AM/FM radio. Review your family plans and stay connected to trusted weather information. Preparation today can save lives tomorrow. These are the names of the storms for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Leah, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Wilfred. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in the parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's some parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park him. Don't park him. Yeah, that's how they get. No, man, you can't park him on the gap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. On the gap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? Well, I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking,
I tell you we shouldn't park here.
Don't get one of these things. My bad big rope, and he got a sticker inside to say this mod though. We gotta move. This is a honey gas spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't leave it right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Take a look at this photo. You may recall the dog owner whose pet was sadly shot and killed by prison officers a few months back. Well, recently, members of the Bahamas Department of Corrections gifted Errol Duke-Strawn with a new furry pup, a 4-month-old Dutch Shepherd, and the first supply of food. Such a sweet update following a bitter incident.
I hope they get many happy years together. And it's time now for your Access Now Total Sports.
Welcome to your midweek sports check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Just ahead of news time, the Bahamas women's national basketball team wrapping up this window of the FIBA Women's Central Basket Qualifiers over in Managua, Nicaragua. The team would finish with a 1-2 record as they would fall today to Mexico 81-67. The 242 would get out to an early lead, building on an 11-point advantage just about halfway through the first quarter, but Mexico would dominate on the inside in the later portions of the game en route to the 14-point win. More sights and sounds from this game in tomorrow's Sportscast. Switching gears, last summer they finished as the runner-ups at the Kazova Senior Men's Volleyball Championships here in the Bahamas. But in the process, the Bahamas men's senior volleyball team locked up a spot in this summer's Kazova Men's Final Four, set to spike off in Curacao on Saturday. But before the team departs, our Swanson Gibson Jr. would have caught up with them at one of their final practice sessions.
Preparing for Caribbean Zonal Volleyball Association Final Four action is the Bahamas Senior Men's National Team. This weekend, the 242 is set to do battle with the host country Curacao, Barbados, as well as Trinidad and Tobago in this critical championship. Head coach Alton Roll speaks to the significance of the Final Four.
Been preparing for it for months, and right now preparation is going well. So what we'll be getting from this tournament is points to help our ranking as a whole, as the whole of the Bahamas itself, so we could qualify for other tournaments like CAC and North Africa Championships and Pan Am Games and stuff like that.
National team players Shanari Hepburn and Javon Saunders spoke about practice intensity and expectations heading in.
There's a lot of effort from the guys on the traveling squad and the guys who are just on the overall roster, which I'm thankful and grateful for, that everybody just doing their part to help the program be successful so we could keep raising in rankings in the future.
We started off a little slow, we just getting our stuff back together, but we definitely picked up the tempo in the past few weeks, and we're looking ready to go.
Comprising the roster is team captain Shanari Hepburn, Zion Beckford, Joshua Bethel, Taven Brown, Chauncey Cooper, Kurtwood Green Jr., Rohan Kerr, Tyrone Sands Jr., Javon Saunders, Gage Smith, Eugene Stewart, and Donovan Wilmot. Assuming the head coach position is Alton Roll, with Princetonique Wilson serving as the assistant coach and Jermaine Adderley taking on the managerial duties. The Kosovo Final Four occurs from this Friday through Monday. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
And more from the All-Andis Regatta this weekend. ZNS Total Sports team talking to the island's MP as well as the Regatta Commodore, who both spoke optimistically about the regatta's future.
Still mindful that lives were lost, and we want to keep those in prayer, and their families and condolences goes out to them again. But North Andis Regatta is still functioning. You look around, the grounds are full. I gotta say, big and better every year. 2027, we're looking forward to even a big and better one.
How do you build on that?
Well, we gotta start with the people. We gotta start with our people. What I would like to see too, like more of our corporate persons to becoming more involved. I think we have lost our corporate sponsors in this regatta, and so 2027, we look forward to them being a part of our mission.
Like 39 boats. And I had to do 7 races in one day in order to make it work. But it all went well. The weather kept up for us today. So with me, I'm a determined person. I don't give up easily.
And finally, it's Wednesday, which means it's time for the latest installment of our Women in Sports series. Our Michelle Butler catching up with a local softball coach who's using her talents and knowledge to give back to the game.
What does a legacy look like? Is it the medals? The national jerseys? Or the championships? Or is it something you leave behind in someone else? For Shante Curtis, the answer has changed over the years.
Softball has been, and baseball also, have been like a big part of my childhood. I think like some of my most vivid childhood memories have been on the baseball field or on the softball field. Although I can't pinpoint like very specific, moments. I think like when I think about my childhood, I think about baseball and softball. So that kind of speaks to, how much of an impact it's played on me.
That love for the game never faded. It simply changed direction.
Pay attention to what I'm asking you to do.
The same sport that once shaped her childhood is now helping her shape someone else's.
I always told myself I would never become a coach, but I kind of fell into it after I graduated college. I started coaching in the U.S., and it kind of opened my eyes to like what the sport could be if you have true coaches, if you have true support as athletes here. And so that kind of made me want to come back and want to pour into the girls in the same way that I was, coaching in the U.S.
Maybe that's what legacy really is. Not how long you play, but how long your impact lasts. And for Shante, the impact is just getting started. For Women in Sports Wednesday, I'm Michelle Butler.
Thanks, Michelle. And that's all the time we have for you for sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Congratulations to the class of 2026 valedictorian and salutatorian. Your hard work, dedication, and perseverance have earned you this outstanding achievement. As you begin this exciting new chapter, may your future be filled with continued success and limitless opportunities. Our sponsors salute academic excellence and proudly join in celebrating your remarkable achievement.
As always, congratulations, of course, to those students. That's going to do it for us here on Access Now. But before we go, tonight will be my last show for a couple of weeks as I take some vacation, and I'll see you all in early August. Until then, take care, do well, and of course, be safe.
I promise I'm happy for you. I'm not just us. We want picture updates along the way. We're living vicariously through you.
I got you covered. I got you covered.
There you go. Well, stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant.
Good night, everybody.
All right, one last.
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
He's on the streets. Basketball Classic 2026 is here. Don't miss our family night. Sunday, July 19th from 4 p.m. Featuring our championship game. Costas versus Politicians. Plus the Joey Slamdown contest. And the Mr. Ship It 3-point shootout. Bring the family. Lots of prizes like big screen TV, round trip tickets, weekend stays, and more. Sunday, July 19th at the Secandal I-6 Gymnasium.
During a storm, your safety is priority number one. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city and persons who really include them so much at a loss they go. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything. You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
Good evening and welcome to the Rundown. My name is Howard Grant. It's absolutely wonderful to have you here with us at ZNS, the only space and place that you need to be. Guys, it's a beautiful evening. I hope that you're good out there. There's a great deal of things happening around the country, around the world, and you know that we're strategically in the position that we want to be able to bring that information to you for the purposes of dialogue. I want to be able to thank those beautiful guests that actually reached out to us and was able to speak with, you know, with strength and capacity about how much they love the Rundown and asking for us to get that line. Praise God, I hear you. And in the event that it does happen, I know that we'll have great dialogues and really be able to dive into that. But I want to be able to thank you. On a Wednesday evening, you know it's a roundtable discussion. Joining me for this evening's discussion is none other than Ian Munnings. He's a pundit, an entrepreneur, a person who's committed to national growth and development. And he's been here with us. You know him. You should definitely be familiar with him. My brother, it is always wonderful.
It's always a pleasure
with us. Talk to me, man.
It's always a pleasure on the Rundown. I want to talk a little bit today, Howard, something that has kind of threw me off the axle today in regards to the young lady that happened to jump off the bridge or allegedly jumped off the bridge. I want to say that there are a lot of people that are battling some issues. Mental illness is real within our country. I think we need to take a stance in regards to reaching out to friends and family members and so forth like that, and just ask them if, you know, you're going through something, simply just reach out, just call, talk to somebody, because it's real. People still are going through a trauma from the COVID-19. We're still going from a trauma from Dorian, when those persons would have lived through that hurricane. And now today, post-today, they're walking and trying to mend back the pieces and get their lives back together. This is a serious issue in our country.
You know, as you talk about this, you know, my mind goes back to issues that you would have grappled with as a child, or issues that people would have grappled with in your family. You know, sometimes serious issues, sometimes issues, then you look back at it, it's not so much. But there was a overwhelming sentiment back in the day that said, man, you got to get over that.
Mm-hmm.
They would tell you that. Man, you got to get over that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's difficult, Howard, because everybody...
we never understood what the PTSD was.
Right.
We never understood what the post-traumatic stress disorder was. We never understood the depth of these particular things, and we never understood that the strength that we forsook, or not necessarily forsook, the strength that we had when we were younger, we kind of dismissed and just identified that, you know, we're a resilient people.
We'll get over it. We'll get over it. We'll be all right.
We never understood that the next generation wouldn't understand this. That the next generation wouldn't be able to bear this kind of a load. And now we're seeing so many persons attempted suicide in our community. It's time for us to be able to have a deeper conversation.
I think we need a deeper conversation, but we need some action behind it. We need some hotlines. We need some therapists. We need some things that are taking place within the communities. We're looking at the hard times. I think we would have called a lady that had some prior years back who was reaching out for some help, and I think she went to the police station, and then after a while she didn't receive the help that she was looking for, and I think she would have taken her car with the kids and drove all the way off of Montague, and I think that all of them died within the car. And so it is real. I mean, looking at our country and seeing so many mothers within the communities in terms of the urban areas, and, you know, survival is the key for the day for them. They live day by day. It's important for technocrats and politicians and persons who make the decisions, the executives within the country, to ride around the country and understand what is happening with our people. We have to be careful. We have to be mindful. This is something that you know, I hear on a daily basis and I see.
I really do like what you're saying. I can be honest with you, as I think about this, I tried to win a contract for a proposal a few years back with my consultancy and what I do with the Citizen Security Justice Program. And what they wanted to do is create a space for accessibility. It was supposed to be youth and recidivism and so forth and so on. And so my team and I had a team maybe about 8 to 10 people. My team and I came up with a concept, just a draft concept that we presented accordingly, that had to do with accessibility. We started to brainstorm about this particular concept, about when you're going through trial and tribulation, when you're going through issues, you don't need to pick up a telephone and hope to Jesus somebody pick up on the other side.
Somebody answers.
We are in a different time and era entirely. We are in a different dispensation entirely. There should be accessibility through apps. There should be accessibility through social media platforms. There should be relentless, just the same way that y'all keep bombarding me every time we're trying to watch one of these funny videos. There should be opportunities through these government entities or NGOs to be able to access information that says, we can assist. We have someone for you to speak with. You should be able to take a test to identify whether or not you should be able to speak with someone. This is a very small society, and I believe that we got to be able to tap into innovation, creativity, and opportunities that exist in this space, and not just lean on the traditions, but definitely look forward to these particular concepts to move forward.
My opinion is that we have to go past the saying. We have to put ourselves in a position that we can see, we can feel, we can touch. These things become tangible, you know, not just on paper. We're dealing with real people with real issues. We're talking about the mother that may have 4 children or 3 children within a community, and you're talking about every day her life for her is going out there, and if she hustles $30 or $40, that $30 and $40 is she depending on that to go to the grocery shop with the cost of everything the way it is. This is something that I've seen, I've witnessed this, I know this. And so, you know, so many young men that are sitting on the blocks and going to the bars because they have no direction. They don't know which way to turn. This is what's happening in our country, in the Bahamas that we love and we grew up in. This is the paradigm that we're living in right now. I'm saying that we need the leaders of the country to really mend this whole thing together, whoever it is. Once the government has become the government, it is the responsibility for all parties invested to, if you want to see the country that you say that you really want to see, it takes a joint effort for everybody to play their role to ensure that the Bahamas become a better place.
I agree with you 100%. I got to be able to say this today in the dailies, just being able to go through my show. If you guys follow me, you'd know exactly what's what. Just going through my show and just reading the dailies and being able to identify what's the topical issues of the day. I had an opportunity to be able to glance at the Tribune. First story out of the paper, 12 years old sexually molested, or the allegations of sexual molestation. Now, they withheld her name, but they put the gentleman's name, slap it all over the newspaper, and as you start to read this story, the story was very peculiar to me. 12 years old, she was 11 at the time, her mother had 4 children, and was living in a house with her boyfriend in an efficiency.
Maybe the breadwinner.
But understand the whole dynamics. This was in a 1-bedroom. This was an efficiency. Now, as men, we know what the objective is when we start to live with our ladies. But in an efficiency with 4 children, how do we make that happen? What are we exposing our children to? Whilst we pursue our desires, whilst we pursue our comforts, whilst we pursue the adulthood that we believe that we have access to, what are we now exposing our children to be able to identify those things? And now these allegations are levied against him. As we swim through this story to be able to identify and stack it up to say, okay, this sounds like it makes sense, this doesn't sound like it makes sense, there is a great deal of trauma. And this kind of an exposure that young persons are forced ripe in our communities, that they now have to take this into adulthood.
That's a lasting trauma.
That's too much.
That's a lasting trauma, along with everything else they're going to be dealing with.
Much.
When I hear stories of like that, where persons, the guardians, the protectors, and you find that these old men that are doing those things to those young girls, you know, it just makes my heart wrenching, because my opinion to it is just that, you know, there's some things I believe swift justice takes place on, and that should be one of them. Because, you know, you prey on the children, I believe, you know, right away you should deal with that matter. I don't take that lightly. You know, as a big grown man and you prey on little children, that's not a game.
No, I don't want to put the levy anything on him.
No, we can't say.
If you read the story, it had too much holes in it.
But I'm saying is that is the circumstances, but there has been situations where there are other females, young girls, 12 and 10, 11, even as young as probably, I think one story was a man molested his babies, little babies. You know, you have to be a sick individual to do things of that nature. And, you know, you have to frown upon that. And I believe that members of the magistrate and Supreme Court, those persons who are responsible to, also their duty is to hold the law, find the evidence, listen to it, and sentence these people according to the heinous crimes that they do. Because this is a lasting situation. This is not just a 5-minute, it's over with. Those young women or young boys will go through a lifetime of trauma.
One time ago, it would have been young women.
Now it's boys also.
Now it's young boys.
I see an article I read, I think they said is that a 20-something-year-old boy would have molested a 14-year-old boy.
This pedophilia is strong.
That's crazy.
We got to be able to deal with this. Well, I want to be able to talk a little bit deeper about these things. I want to dive deeper into this kind of a conversation that's happening socially. I really want to talk about these sort of issues that exist and what we're dealing with in the country. I know over the past few days we were dealing with trash, and really being able to talk about that, I see where a lot of persons are kind of diving into the fray, talking about the spiritual stance or position of the country. And I heard this kind of refuting posture today from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Foreign Service and the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, none other than Fred Mitchell, being able to dismiss this idea that the country is cursed. We're going to have a very clear conversation about that. And, you know, joining us on the other side of this break would be none other than Garth Maynard Roseborough, also just being able to join us in that conversation. So stick and stay, guys. We're going to take this quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back after this.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
During a storm, your safety is priority #1. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly, and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Good Wednesday afternoon to you. We identify this as hump day. You're getting over the thing, and then you're going to get back down there, getting yourself excited and prepared for the weekend. I want to be able to introduce you to the show. We started off the very first segment being able to talk about the devastation that exists in our country right now and this sort of a mental health that we got to be able to grapple with. I'm joined by none other than Ian Munnings, and definitely being able to just be joined by Garth Maynard Roseborough just for our roundtable conversation. I always enjoy this, and I want to be able to say this. I don't know whether or not we've gone far enough to be able to talk about this. I think we've been very casual in our approach to being able to rectify the country. I think that our forefathers has placed a great deal of emphasis on the tangibles and the intangibles, like the mental health and the other things that exist around here. They haven't put enough emphasis on that. And so as we look at this, as we look at these particular things and try to figure out whether or not it's just sufficient to have a senior master in schools, is it sufficient to have a guidance counselor, or do we need someone that actually has the expertise to be able to help children navigate and identify how they can deal with these grappling issues that continue to wreck their brain? Garth, I can let you touch it. Wait. Happy birthday to you.
Dun, dun, dun,
Happy
dun.
birthday to you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Happy birthday, dear God. Happy birthday to you. Listen, Ian Thomas left some of those things here for you to do.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
I just said to let you know, right?
I know.
Talk to me.
I know Jesus is real. You'll meet him sooner than later.
Praise God.
There's more in the back of you than what's in front of you.
I listened to the conversation just a while ago, and the pressure of the world today is a term that I'm now calling predatory existence. Predatory existence is where, as children, we are fostered, we are raised, we are matured, not understanding that there are only two types of animals in this jungle. Either you are the hunter,
or
you're the prey. We take so much for granted, even as professionals, that as we raise children, we expect the system itself to allow children to later on discover whether they are the hunter or the prey. In our psychology, in our psychiatry, in our lending a hand, I don't feel in the Bahamas itself there is a firm enough aggression towards creating more hunters than there are prey. And I say that because of our religious nature, where we assume ourselves as a Christian nation. A Christian nation for me means that Jesus will take care of it. Many things we do passively, saying the Lord will take care of it.
That's very lazy.
It's a very lazy approach, yes.
But it's not even biblically sound.
And it also enters into our very own professionalism as we mete out to our children.
But that's another form of laziness. It's not biblically sound, because faith without works is still...
It's dead.
Praise Jesus. Go ahead.
And so for those people who are psychiatrists, those who are professionals, we have now gotten into a system where we are allowing so many of our younger people to fall by the wayside because, as you just said a while ago, we're just simply too lazy. We're not putting enough effort into it. Our salaries are not high enough. There's so many complaints before there are solutions, and this is why the Bahamas is now ailing in 2026.
Because of the complaints prior to the solutions.
That's it.
That's one of the most exhausting things whenever, and I believe, let me tell you something. You
don't see it?
I can't fight him for what he's saying, but I can say them to you. I've seen it in the next generation. If I asked my children to do something, when they get more mature now, they understand working because they need money. But when they were younger, in their mid-teens, and I said, do something, they would go through a litany of concepts in their mind of what they have to do before they move the cup. They got to think of how much steps it takes to get to the kitchen. Oh my God, do I have to cut this on? Do I wash it also? Oh Lord, there's a lot of... They got to go through all this in their head before they move the cup.
We're in an age, Howard, where with our kids, for most of us, right? With our parents growing up, and most of them coming from the family islands, etc., they knew the purpose of work. They understood the work. They understand how hard it is in life to survive.
They never ponder about it.
They know about the real...
They do it.
No, they knew about the rules. There were rules. There were no exceptions. And so when you grew up in mama house and papa house, you had to do it. It wasn't no, I don't feel like doing it and I don't feel well.
It wasn't optional.
It was never an option. It was never an option.
Church was never optional either.
The kids now today, they have social media, they have these games, they have all of these things, roadblocks, all of these other things that they do to occupy their time. Our time was you go outside, you play bat and ball, you play marbles, tops.
After.
You do great, but you did your chores. So if you were living in the ghetto, you did not run in water like that. You went and you took a trolley that you had from Super Value at the time, and you went there and you had your jugs. This is reality. You went into the pump and you fill up your jugs, because that was dealing with washing, that was dealing with bathing. This is where we come from. This is the reality. We knew about outside toilets, us, not modern flush. A lot of people may say, oh, I'm high and I'm this now. This is the position you're in now. But prior from that, let's look at what it was, God. You had outside toilet. Mama and them probably never had the kitchen where the toilet was, but you had the toilet one place, you had the kitchen one place, and then you slept one place.
The kitchen was outside the back of the house.
And then you had the kitchen one place separate from the toilet, and then you had where you had to go inside to sleep. But that used to be clean no matter how small it was. But you went to the pump and you filled up your water, and that's what you did.
You know, and I'm listening to what you're saying. When a child understands, I don't know at what age they will understand, but they understand that they must be the hunter. They must be the aggressor. In other words, you have to get your act together.
That's a conditioning, Garth.
I know it is.
No one wakes up and say, today I got to kill something.
I know it is.
That is slowly but surely.
The kids are sheltered.
Don't let no man talk, but they like you and they bring you nothing. The language of a young mother speaking to her young daughter. And now you're trying to understand why this pervasive concept of prostitution is sneaking into our society. These things are happening because of the language and the conditioning that exist in our space, and there is no strength. There's no strength to be able to change this language, the articulation, the declaration over our country. All we could do is sit back in a position where we could be able to say, reactive, say, oh, well, this is what's happened, let's pray. Oh, well, this is what, nothing proactively to identify how do we stop these particular things from happening. We got to fix this.
So watch what happens. Because the parents are not conditioning, using Howard's word, conditioning the children to be more of a hunter than prey. This then makes it more difficult for the psychologist, the psychiatrist, the headmistress, the educator, the pastor, the person in the community to also add to the conditioning for reinforcement. When a child becomes an adult now, look at our society today. Just a week or two ago on Howard's show, one of the biggest issues that we were facing was blackouts. You heard the cries of the country.
Don't go there.
I got to go there.
Some people felt that. Don't go there.
No, some people are still having blackouts. And then, of course, we went through a whole independence time where we had many a catastrophe, many a disaster. And so we're having more and more issues. And all these issues, they have their worth. Do not get me wrong when I say this. They have their worth. But amongst all of these issues, we now can feel as if we are the prey. In order for us to overcome this feeling that we now have, solutions have to now be rendered to say, you know what, give us the strength to be the hunters. How can we pass on from leadership, whether it's political or religious, or it's from way of tertiary education or whatever, pass this on now to the next generation to say, yes, we'll have some politicians that will let us down. Yes, we'll have some educators that will let you down. Yes, we'll have some pastors that are going to let you down. But we cannot join the choir to say we are left defenseless. We got to find a way to get on the offense.
The thing is, Garth, we can identify a lot of different problems. We can see the problems throughout the community, throughout the nation. We can see the problems. I think what we need to focus on is people who can have the solutions to solve these problems that you're having. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of intelligent people, whether it be local or external. We have them. We have the behemoths. We have the minds. We have it. Are we using it as a question?
Well, just recently, I was hit with an issue. It was a problem for many people. It was a problem. When I spoke to Howard and I spoke to one or two other people, they asked why was I laughing, why was I smiling? Because I understand in life that problems are part of life. Issues are part of life. But you as an individual now have a responsibility to yourself to find a solution. Yes, you can lean on others to say, I need your input, I need your opinion, I need your advice, I need your consultation. But at the end of the day, it is up to you, the individual, to find what is the benefit in this, or what is the total consequence.
But here we go, and talk about the light situation. There are many behemoths that have been faced with the lights off for 24, 48, 6 hours, some different times.
So what do you do?
Hold on. We have senior
36.
Hold on. We have senior citizens in these homes in most cases. We have persons who may be on a ventilator or these things. These are things we must consider.
Yes.
So we must be able to identify with even in these homes.
Yes.
Who's in these homes? Because I think the index the other day, the heat was about 105. That's extremely high. We have to be proactive. We have to look at those parks and say, hey, what do we do?
I like what you're saying.
Yeah, what do we do going forward?
I don't know whether or not this should
cooling
be
stations.
This kind of a conversation for all the persons that continue to be able to watch us. We have so many persons out there that watch us on a consistent basis. We have politicians that watch us every single evening. And for you to be able to recognize this, identify this, and everything that you would have done during your time in the electoral period. For instance, most recently we would have been able to see Pia Glover as the minister take on this kind of position to talk about BPL and what should happen because of our obligation and responsibility to the people of Golden Gates.
She has a responsibility to speak on behalf of those people.
Okay.
The people put her into place now.
Okay.
So I represent my people. I'm up to speak on behalf of them.
Our proactive approach, and what she would have been doing throughout this particular time in terms of being able to not be elected the first time, but definitely the second time, retaining this undeniably should be able to put her in a position to say, okay, now I need to take a census of my constituency to identify whether you vote for me or you're not, how many persons working in this particular house, what are the age groups in this house, who are the dependents in this home, what needs to happen in here. And once you could be able to identify your talent, your pool, and break that down, it's quick and very easy. I could say to my people, hey, listen, go check out Miss Sherry there. Here's the printout. These are all the people who are on ventilators. These are all
they need to be on.
This is like
immediately.
These are all the people who are on ventilators.
I like
in my
that
constituents. This is what you do.
I like that hour.
As a politician, as a member of parliament. This is the new age. This is what our expectation would be from a Sebastian in Fort Charlotte. You got to be able to retrieve the data, the information to understand who are on ventilators. How much of the children got asthma? How much of the children got these particular issues in the constituency? How can I help? My baby can't breathe. My Grammy can't breathe. All these things, and you need power to get these things done, eh?
I'll tell you this.
You need to deal with these things accordingly.
In some instances, we look in the country and we look at the hospital. The hospital light cannot be turned off. We look at the hotels, the mega resorts that are in the country, their light can be turned off. So there are some particular persons within our, what you were describing throughout the communities, like you said, that should not be turned off as well. You get a letter and you said, hey, this is the people and this is what they're faced with. Even if there is a bill, allow them to be able to come in and pay, even if it's $100, let them pay that on, not to keep that on.
Based on circumstances.
Based on their circumstances.
Yes.
This is the taxpayers. This is our money. This is what we are spending. We must hold people accountable. I don't care who it is. We must be accountable for the action. And like I said, I like the stance from a member of parliament when they get up and they speak on behalf of the people in which they serve. It's important and imperative for them to understand that the people who put you there, you're responsible to them.
Well, I want to talk a little bit more about that when we get back from this break. And this is what I like when we're doing this. It's not just about being able to stretch out far and wide from east to west the issues that we continue to grapple with, but the importance of being able to find a practical solution. We can be able to do this. I think we can. Let's take this quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
The flu, as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
One of the things with Ill Ability's mission is to empower individuals to live life with limitless possibilities through positive interactions within communities worldwide.
There are many people around the world, able-bodied and differently abled, who have doubts, who lack confidence, who aren't sure what they want to do with their lives, or don't think that they can do what they would like to do, what they dream of doing. And we try to show them that if you have a dream and you stop making excuses for yourself as to why you cannot or should not pursue your dream or your passion, then there are no limits to what you can achieve.
Like when someone sees my dance, I want them to see the message that no matter what obstacles they're faced with, they can always find a way to do it their own way.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Rundown with Howard Grant right here on ZNS, having a great conversation on our roundtable discussion. I'm joined this evening by none other than Ian Munnings and Garth Roseborough, being able to talk to us, both political analysts and talk show hosts, always being able to give great information, great advice. And as I was saying, when we left off, guys, I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to stretch these things out. I think our show is definitely about being able to identify some of the issues that we're grappling with as a society as a whole, historically, legendary and otherwise, but it's important that we can be able to come up with a contribution towards a solution, a step towards a solution, and we can be able to take on a mindset like the constituents of Fort Charlotte that we have to go higher. Talk to me.
Ian, you want to go higher?
I can tell you this. Representation prior, during the Salinas era, representation meant something, you know? When politicians went underneath the coconut tree or the tamarind tree to play a little bit of domino with the community persons, you were hired on a napkin. You were, the man word meant something. You know, when a man say something to you, that was gospel. You could take that napkin to anywhere you want to carry that. Wherever he tell you carry that, that was a done deal. That's important. I believe in that. I believe in delivery. I believe in what I say I have to stand behind. That's what the man were. You know, and any man that watched those politicians in the way and the posture in which they did, you looked at them and, you know, you wonder why the communities kind of praised them. To say that, hey, that's my MP, and they ready to go to war with you for the MP. Reason being is that they gave those people an opportunity to grow in those communities. It meant something, Garth?
Well, definitely socialization was a big part of the healing of the nation post-1967. You're talking about a healing process. Howard often references, I do believe, to the 80s, where we as a people tended to become more materialistic. So materialization then became the word of the day as opposed to socialization. And so now today in 2026...
i.e., people know it locally as tings.
Tings,
Become tings.
Yes.
They want tings.
And so now the effort that you make is now measured on materialization or materialistic things or tingsiness. It's very unfortunate because the economy does not lend us to the security of understanding that we all can actually receive the things that we desire. And so the word of an MP today, we all know for many a time, is just simply hot air. There ain't nothing more coming out of that. We know they cannot possibly take care of everything that they've promised, everything that they've said. You patch one road, another road is gone, we give you a sidewalk contract, and then all of a sudden now you dig it up again, they got to be redone again. It's just too much. Where is this money coming from? But we have not found the ingenuity to create people who can now get things done affordably and economically. So definitely in our country today, we suffer. We're all suffering. You don't believe for a minute the members of parliament are suffering? This is why they raise their salaries. They understand they too need a raise. If they need a raise at that high level,
that ain't a done deal yet.
But if they need a raise,
it ain't a done deal.
It ain't a done deal. But if they need a raise at their high level, what do you think about mamas who just said a while ago?
Hold on, God. Hold on,
on dialysis.
I'm murky in the water.
No, I'm murky in the water.
You know how God goes.
But you know how God goes.
$28,000 ain't no high level.
No.
I said to you at a high level because mama never see that in her entire lifetime, and mama been working hard. So I'm saying to you again, if they could get that, then why can't mama them get that too? Mama them still stuck with, what do you call this thing, national insurance check or social services check? How much is that a month? $300, $400?
Depending on contribution, sir.
Depending on your contribution.
Could be 200.
What type of contribution is that mama from 1967 to have? It ain't gonna be that much.
300, 200.
And so, but yet you want mama, when you start talking about progress, when you start talking about we work for you, when you start talking about change, income and changes here, what mama can look forward to? Let me hear this. In 2026. We don't want no more socialization.
I can say this.
What we want, though, is a solution to our issues. And so every Bahamian is saying to the government right now, we need you to provide us a standard of living in the Bahamas. That's all we're asking for.
I can
just
say this.
A fair standard of life.
I think that a lot of the professionals, in terms of, in the educators and so forth, they were fighting in regards to a raise, because I think that teachers make somewhere between $25 to $27, almost $30,000.
$30,000.
Right. So that's about $500 a week, give or take, roughly, right?
Right.
And if you realize that
if
you realize that the cost of living and the classrooms has about 30, the classroom has about 30 and 40 students inside of it, and you're thinking about these young professionals within our country unable to afford what we call low-cost homes. Just basic thing. We must be able to think about ways or incentives that we can be able to try to give those particular sectors that we need to lift the standard up. It's the same way that you're thinking about the standard within the communities. We're looking at the areas, the urban areas that has all of the problems, similar to being in Grantstown. We're looking into the camp roads. We're looking into basic areas that really need the attention. We said, can $150,000 a year take care of 5,000 and 6,000 people within those communities? We must be able to lift the standard by putting the money in where it counts. And if you believe that you cannot trust your MP, then you have a board that you put in place which will actually cater to dealing with helping them to structurally put the money where it needs to go.
You know, you raise a concern.
Let me say something.
No.
Yes, I
because,
hold
on, God. I will say something, Howard. Hold on, Howard. We talked about. We talk about Chippenham, and you talk about the Sabas Bastian.
Oh, so you want to say something?
We talked about Sabas Bastian going into the pit road, Howard, and lifting the standard in there by lifting the standard within the homes, right, Howard? Lifting the standard within the homes and setting an example in terms of this is what lifting higher means. We see in the grocery store open up at a discounted rate, and he said, this is what it is. So he's setting a bar that every other MP is watching on. And so what do you do when you're handicapped and you're the member of parliament for being in Grandstand? What do you do when you now don't have the resources or the connection as some of the members of parliament that are sitting in there?
You don't need resources.
Continue.
Oh, boy, this can be sweet.
This can be sweet. I want to hear it.
You need brains.
Let's talk.
No, let me hear this.
You need creativity.
Well, you can't save the jungle animals if you don't have no money, Howard.
Now, no. Let's be clear about this.
Let's hear what you wrote. Let's go.
Breaking up the monotony of classism. That's what I write down. The idea that we continue to spew and plant into the minds of the Bahamian people, especially sitting from the Fourth Estate, is the idea that there is an expectation that our government provides us with a standard of living.
I like this.
You like
that? I like this. I like this. I like this.
I have a standard of living.
I like this.
I do not have a job for somebody. You see me working here. It's a contractual situation. I do not work. I have my own things. I've created that standard.
That's ownership.
And a standard that I expect, as a wise man who leaves an inheritance for his children, a standard I expect my children to pick up. I educate my children. I paid for them to go to school, all of them. I go and send them to government school, which is free. And then I send them to private school, which I had to pay for. I paid for them. I created a standard in my family. I expect them to do that. So when you bring in the slackers around and these fellas talking about they like my son, these girls talking about they like my son, these fellas talking about they like my daughter.
Oh no, you ain't got my daughter like that.
Daddy set up standard. There's no expectation that standard is external. And this is where it starts in the home. You got to break that up. And the only way you identify standards is through education. the pursuit of education, the understanding of education. The reason why they hate the Ghanaians right now and talking about the potential of 300 coming down here is because Ghanaians have a standard, a very clear understanding who's coming here to live at a particular bar. But you don't want that. You want to be able to have this kind of a content posture and being able to live in the way that we live in. I gotta go. I know I gotta go. Let me take this break. Let me come back.
God.
We can dive into it.
I see our God. Look at you now.
16 things.
Hold on. I didn't see our God. Look at you.
We can talk about it. Quick break, guys. Gonna be right back after this.
Listen, I've been disabled now from 2009. What inspired me to start my own business? It was the determination to know that I still had something left in me, even though a lot of my independence, my mobility was being restricted. In my disability, it's kind of hard finding the investors or the capital. For example, national insurance. The benefit that we receive, it's a lifeline. And in any business that you're going to take, it's going to be a risk. We're not looking for handouts, but we want you to understand that we still need a little special care. This literally gives us a backbone that, hey, we could actually stand someday. This is the business I know it's going to be a risk. Even going through that process, I'm still dependent on national insurance. Overall, being in the program itself has put me in a place where I feel young again. I feel like anything is possible. I would say to others with disabilities, look around your community, just like you guys said in one of the modules. See what is needed in your community and go for it. Don't be afraid, just go for it.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
During a storm, your safety is priority number one. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. They got me hot under the collar, right? Trying to be decent on this show. This is the Rundown. I'm Howard Grant, grateful to be in your company. Roundtable discussion here with none other than Ian Munnings and Garth Maynard Roseborough, just being able to talk with us as we talk about these things. You don't always need money. You all need to stop it, and this is why we have to go back to the foundation. I keep telling you, when I look at mama them and where they come from, they never had no ultrasound machine with UV rays for the children who had jaundice. They figure it out. The children don't have jaundice, eh? They put water in their mouth and put them in the sun. Now, you need to stay in the hospital for 4 days under the UV rays. Don't allow technology to make you dumb. Don't allow technology in your smartphone. Most of us got smartphones and we get dumber. We need to stop it. Education is liberation. You can see it around the world. We can see it around the region. We can see these particular things. You need to tap into your creativity to get to the space that you are called to be. There is an answer that's inside of you. You can't sit in the front of Royal Bank and Commonwealth Bank and Bank of the Bahamas and pray to Jesus Christ that he send you the money to be able to build a foundation for your house. It don't work like that. Faith without works is still dead. Use your creativity. Start leaning relentlessly upon your member of parliament. Identify these things. The other day, 200 people, Haitian or otherwise, lived in a constituency and they run over their house. You want to fight, you're mad, you want to kill everybody. You can't believe this. People get locked up for a place that you ain't never supposed to be in the first place. But you here in this country, living in this space, paying somebody for this space, you all couldn't put your money together and say, let's create a conglomerate. Let's call it Sac Passe Limited. You didn't think about none of these things. Nothing. All you think about is somebody supposed to take care of you. That is the prevailing mindset in this dispensation. Create a standard within your family, within your heart, and live to that. As a man thinketh, so is he. I get preachy today. Now go ahead. Yeah, let me see my 16 things. Social promotion costs this. Not because your cousin looked like he's 17 years old and he in grade 7, that you have to put him in grade 8. He cannot read. Social promotion is a degrading aspect, and because these people think they're big, they are not mentally prepared to step into the work field and to step into the community at large. We need to create aspects and a proper path to being able to amalgamate people to our society and our community. Social promotion has caused a significant degradation. When you hear these people talk about the government high, they never talk about no one who was incapable of doing that. There was a standard set in our society. No matter what part of the country you came from, you wanted to go to the government high because that was recognition. Because that was a standard that was set. Now, everybody really needed it. Well, don't worry, the baby is okay, just let him go. Oh, you can't do that, the baby. Stop it. This is the Bahamas. We are a strong people. Stop calling yourself resilient, and you're just sitting there not willing to do anything. You're a roach. Because that's the only thing, let's be clear, the only thing that exists after Hiroshima and the bomb dropped was roaches. What they call the roaches? Resilient. Stop it. You're human beings to be called with strength. Do what you have to do. I don't need to get preachy with the people.
Well, I'm a roach. I'm resilient.
No, you're not a roach.
I'm resilient.
You are a survivor.
Dog God.
You're a survivor.
Listen.
But your resilience is not just dependent on the fact that you could breathe. Your resilience depends on your creativity to perform, provide, and survive.
But I would say this, Howard Grant, looking at the Fort Charlotte area of raising the level, socialization, like I said, once again, is a part of that equation, but materialism is also. As for me, going back to the initial conversation of being the hunter or the prey, I'll say this to you, that until, once again, we say that we are going to now prepare our constituents to be hunters as opposed to prey, the Bahamas will continue to fall down on its knees, begging for mercy from every other country around the world.
Country or persons inside of it.
When we look at Africa today, and we love to praise people. We looked at, like for instance, we looked at Libya with Gaddafi. How noble was that?
We looked at leadership.
When we look at Ibrahim,
you're getting into a geopolitical conversation.
Everybody got mentioned. We talk about leadership.
That's
imperative. Leadership.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
But in a 400,000 nation with the Caribbean representing 46 million people.
When are we going to get it together?
In a geopolitical conversation, we would have seen significantly our country take significant steps towards being able to lead. We've always been leaders. In CARICOM, we've always been leaders in these particular capacities.
Where are we now?
And every time we step up with a concept and an idea, for instance, let's take Haiti. When you identify these particular things, Haitian don't want you to be able to do that. So you try to help them out and you say it's going to be a Haitian-led solution. We are leaders in our capacity, but there's always a Secretary of State, there's always a Secretary of Defense, there's always these particular persons who continue to stand over us, tower over us in their capacity, financial, position, influence, and otherwise, and we curtail. So when you talk about geopolitics, you can't just say there isn't leadership that exists here. You have to take into consideration the leadership that exists elsewhere, and whilst we in our position, there's always grace in the pulling the pull.
But I think what Garth is mentioning is regards to leadership in regards to going forward. We're talking about either you're staying like a hamster, either you're running on a treadmill, but you're actually running nowhere. It's continuous, but you're running nowhere.
That's the existence of the country for 53 years.
But this is the reality. What I'm saying to you is that with this leadership, you're thinking about, like you're saying, forward thinking. You're thinking about how do you put your people after 53 years back in the position, not as workers to the table, preferably, not to say that people don't need to work, but we're looking at ownership, where behemoths to the table will become owners. Rather than we looking at foreigners.
This Choose Progress administration.
Rather than we saying,
I expect it.
I expect it.
Okay.
I expect to own hotels.
The show is getting hot now.
I expect to own hotels.
Hold on, Howard Grant.
I expect to own hotels.
This is your show.
I expect there to be millionaires coming out of this administration over the next 5 years. I expect the monotony and the idea that they'll only be PLP-centric to be able to be broken up and to identify the significant talent that exists in this country and throughout the diaspora to come back home and build this country. I expect it. I expect it because choosing progress was not just choosing a theme, was not just choosing a banner. Choosing progress was choosing an idea for growth and development. Inevitably, we got to grow. And if the Prime Minister is willing to take on this particular concept and idea to fight for arbitration in the Grand Bahama Port Authority, my God, he can fight for our country. And we got to be here to remind him. Do we need to be millionaires, eh?
Pause right there. See, I like when you say that. I want to say that you must hold their feet to the fire. And this is what Garth was saying. I'm saying that too often we talk about this situation in regards to moving forward and tangible things and things that we could feel and we could touch. What are the realities in our country today? Yeah. We're talking about mothers unable to feed their children. I would have remembered a member of parliament, Mig mentioning at the time, he would have said that women were in these inner cities selling their bodies so they can provide
That's
a meal.
the first thing we got to do.
This is what I hear.
Let these women understand that your body should not be distributed for the purposes of survival. You shouldn't use your situation.
But Howard, this was the reality. When we're talking about the reality.
We ain't worrying about the reality.
We're talking about, no, Howard, I must say to you, Howard, I must say this.
Ian, the reality is they have shifted the mindset over time. Your great-grandmother didn't do what these young children do.
I agree with you.
Your great-grandmother didn't do that.
Garth, I agree with him. But however, we're saying that what is the status? He spoke on regards of what they're dealing with. They spoke on
you got to remind them of who they are.
They're speaking about the real issues that we're really faced with.
Anyway, fundamentally, Howard, just saying in closing, until we have a mindset like people of the past like Garvey, Marcus Garvey, and people like Abraham Tory, and people like Gaddafi. I'm just simply saying.
Just reach.
I'm just saying they're working towards it. Isn't that not progress?
That's progress.
That is progress.
We're working with external progress.
You don't have to be completed. You just need to progress.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for being able to tune in, my guests, being able to thank you for being able to do that and have a great conversation. I know you like it. I know you like these particular things. I want to thank you, and I want to be able to remind you of the importance of being able to move with a conviction in you. Remember who you are and whose you are. That's all I about. Whenever you see me, remember who you are and whose you are. All this can be gone one day, but the contribution that we make to growth and development matters now.
I like it.
That's it for the rundown. I want to thank you so much. Be sure to stay locked in to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest in news and information with Corvell Pyfram. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining us.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Boys on the Streets Basketball Classic 2026 is here. And don't miss our family night. Sunday, July 19th from 4 p.m. Featuring our championship game. Costas versus Politicians. Plus the Joey Slam Down contest. And the Mr. Ship It 3-point round trip tickets, weekend stays, and more. Sunday, July 19th at the Secondal I-6 Gymnasium.
Bahamas. Hurricane season is here. Are you ready? The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially runs from June 1st through November 30th. 6 months of staying alert and prepared. Storms are named to help meteorologists, emergency officials, and the public community.